Okay, boom. Section 10, episode 561, presented by Underdog Fantasy. It's the home of your 43 and 45 fourth place Boston Red Sox, brewed by Blue Moon.
Suck one.
Produced by Jake Yazzie, who's behind the scenes tonight because there's a stream going on simultaneously, which I'm sure I'm getting slandered on that for not being there, but we do have to do the podcast, and Dallas and Jay Hay are live streaming for Clayton Kershaw's pursuit of 3,000 strikeouts. If he gets within one, maybe I'll pop over for a second. But like the last update we got is that he just gave up a 2-run bomb. So
yeah, he sucks right
Something
now.
To keep an eye
6 hits, 3 runs through 2 1/3. Pretty bad.
There you go. Yeah, and
treating it like a playoff game.
Jake is tasked with having to show Dallas how to operate a live stream. That's no small feat. And so like. You know, the Boston Red Sox have somehow managed to take a series win and turn it into a funeral. They took a series sweep against the Yankees and turned that into a funeral. And then they took this Cincinnati Reds series victory and turned this into a depressing podcast. It's a very impressive feat to have the ability to do this to your own fan base. And maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm spoiled. Like, oh, come on. Like, you guys won the series. You got to be happy. No, I don't. Not after that game. That game was fucking awful. Like, I have never been a turn my TV off guy, but I am kind of like I'll identify this as the point where I would have turned the game off had I not had this career, for sure. Like, there were points in tonight's game. Yeah. Like Romy getting thrown out at third base, that's a turn off your TV moment. Like that's like, all right, I'm out. See ya. Bye-bye. Like I'll be back tomorrow, you fucking assholes. I'll watch you again tomorrow when it's a clean slate. But after that play, yeah, that's a turn off your TV moment. It continued. Obviously, there was more dicking around and throwing the ball around and balls dropping in and just dumb baseball decisions made by the Boston Red Sox in a season full of dumb decisions by the Boston Red Sox. But where you guys at, like, mood-wise? Are you as down on them as I am right now?
I'm not like super down overall, but this has happened far too often. Like, we can't consistently feel good about this team, and we can't consistently have good things. They are now 0-4 in their last 4 series finales. That sucks for the vibes of this program. It's also a double weird feeling because the series win happened today. So it's like, okay, right, we got catch-up today and we're still upset. That's very rare for that to happen. I do want to harp more on that Romy play, though. And I understand they end up giving up more runs, but I'm a big believer in like little moves like that then just completely change the vibes and then bad things trickle on, from that moment. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Romy's one of my favorite players on the team. That had a 0.50 expected batting average, so you're already playing from ahead. The fact that I know the Nesson camera person thought that was going to Maine, but that barely hits the wall. Classic Fenway double, Romy. Like, I don't know what you're doing going to third. Lou mentioned it correctly. The ball's right in front of him. It's not like this is something down the line and then someone has a cannon in right field. That changed everything. You have no outs. You would have had the tying run on second base after Weissert collapsed there. That one was very deflating, to say the least.
It's not that today was depressing. When I woke up this morning, I was like, what do I need to be like in? Because there are still a lot of people that are like in. And I'm like, obviously I've made my thoughts pretty well known, but I think they need to be 5 above 500, where I'm just like, okay, now I can believe these 15-0 games are real life and they're not just like random blips that happen in baseball. Like, I'm sure the Rockies will beat someone this year like 16-1. Might be fucking us, but I'm sure like they'll do that to somebody. I think I need to see them 5 games above 500, because even after they won the rain delay game, it was like, all right, they can actually, like, until I saw the catch-up graphic, it didn't even hit me that they'd won the series. It just didn't compute. I
agree with
brain.
your tweet where it's like, oh yeah, right, if they win the last one, that's a sweep. It didn't feel like that was even on the line in the finale.
Right. Yeah, it felt, because of the rain out, it felt like they lost, despite the fact that they were up. Like, what them doing that to Jake's birthday, them doing that to the 1975 broadcast, which just brutal, just absolutely brutal job by the Rain there. No sense of the moment, no feel. But yeah, I think once they're, because even when I was thinking about the pursuit back to 500, it was just like, well, then they got to go 2-1 just to maintain being on the positive side of that in the next series. When does it end? I think it needs to be 5 games over 500, which right now would have us on top of the division if we were doing that. Like that's what's really infuriating me. We sweep the Yankees, like Jerry just mentioned. We sweep the Yankees. They have gone into a turmoil I have never seen them go into. They have not recovered from that in the slightest. The Blue Jays just stomped their shit tonight. They had their little fake comeback, and then they lose again. Like, would they get 2 out of 3 from the Blue Jays or swept?
I think they play them again tomorrow.
Even better. Either way, like the division has been up for grabs. We're 3-7 over our last 10. We've refused to grab it. Like we haven't had to have played exceptional ball. 5 games over 500 is nothing to be like, holy shit, this is 2018 all over again. Like that's not a lot to ask for. I don't feel.
No, I mean, I think the whole thing about this team, and I said this tonight with Maz, people think that I'm just trying to be different by saying I still think this team can make the playoffs. What you're not understanding is that if I say I think the Red Sox can still make the playoffs, I'm not in the same sentence saying I think they're good. The league is so bad. Yeah, the league is so bad that the Red Sox can make the playoffs and still not be a very good team. Like that, those two things can be the same. So no, I'm not just like carrying the Red Sox water and trying to pump Red Sox propaganda. I'm not very high on this team at all, but I'm even less high on the American League as a whole. Like there's no teams right now that are impressing me that are contending for the third wild card at least. Like I think Tampa's legit. Toronto is on a hell of a run. The Yankees, I don't know how they win baseball games. Like they're just not a good baseball team. They don't anymore. They built up a nice little head start that has evaporated because the Toronto Blue Jays just tied them for first place tonight. But either way, it's infuriating to watch the Red Sox knowing how good they could be if they just weren't fucking stupid. They are. Dumb. They're just a dumb team. They make dumb decisions, and I've seen it cost them time and time again, like actual games, not just runs, like wins and losses we're talking about.
Yeah, the Yankees have 5 more wins than the Red Sox right now. If the Red Sox just weren't an extremely stupid team, they're right up there at the top of the AL East. And not to say that that's saying anything too crazy, because this AL East kind of sucks compared to past years where you have normally the best team in the league. But again, it's not, it's I don't want to say it's every night. I think it would be wrong to be like every single night they look terrible. They do stupid things all the time. The worst part is that it's not all the time, but it's kind of when you can least afford it. Like it's right around the corner at all times. That 8th inning that happened tonight, you're always kind of waiting for that. You're always kind of expecting, all right, one thing's going to happen, then another thing's going to happen, and then Story's going to miss the ball, and then they're going to throw it around the infield, and all of a sudden it's 8-4 and the game's over. And those innings have cost them not just this year, but the last 4 years. It's consistently just a pain in the ass to watch this team, and they can't get any consistency. Like that 6-game winning streak, we couldn't even be happy because Devers got traded. Like in the middle of that winning streak, you send Raffy to San Francisco, and regardless of what he's doing there right now, like there's going to be a ripple effect of how that affects the fans, how that affects the players. Outside of that stretch, since April 29th, they haven't won more than 3 games in a row. And again, tonight would have been a chance to do that. And then you go play a crap Nationals team, and all of a sudden you could have won 5 in a row. But when you're throwing the ball around, you're running the bases like a bunch of idiots. This is what happens. You're a below 500 team.
If you flipped our 1-run game record, we'd be running the American League like comfortably.
Yeah, it would be Sox Tigers big time.
And there's like, I understand we've got a rookie in 2 out of every 3 positions on the field. And when you don't, like when Narvaez sits, it's Connor Wong. So you're downgrading. Like our veterans aren't like much better than the rookies. So it's a young team or it's backups. And then like TS10's been like his hot June is just it's fucking July 2nd, but he hasn't cooled off yet. what,
He's been
5-6
awesome.
game hitting streak, whatever it is. But you're playing Meyer. It's fucking 2014 all over again. You've got Meyer at second. You've got Anthony and right. And it's just like Toro. I don't understand. And I haven't had anyone explain to me why we keep doing Toro at third and Romy at first, when Toro's obviously not that good at third and he's a better first baseman. Romy was playing like shortstop for us last year. Why isn't he playing third? If that's what we want to do, if we want to play them both, just do that. I have not heard an explanation. Maybe Romy's still hurt. That's possible, but I don't know. And he made the bonehead base running mistake. Like, they only play 3 types of games, these Boston Red Sox. They either win in blowout fashion, they lose a close one, or they are leading and then lose in a way that's so horrifying you can't even begin to say it. And that was this Reds series.
They'll lose games that feel like 2 losses, and tonight is exactly what it was. You're up 3-0 in the 7th inning. The Weissert meltdown. Not to say that was expected, but he obviously hasn't been the same pitcher the last 5 or 6 outings. It's tough, man. I mean, these are the kind of stretches that just drive you nuts. I know we're 162 guys, girls and gays, and you just want to be able to kind of stick your chest out a little bit at some point of the season. Like, the season's so long, you want to at least have a couple of stretches where you're like, all right, like, here we go. And we really haven't had any of those. Again, that 6-game winning streak doesn't really count, because you sweep the Yankees and we were excited for 2 hours and then we got pissed off immediately. Whatever, you take the first in Seattle, who cares? Like, the Seattle Mariners, just like the Red Sox, or whatever team that's not going to win any playoff games this year. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I just want to be, I'm so ready to be more excited, and that's probably because I'm an idiot. Like, this team at times makes me want to be pumped, and then you just can't get over the top. You're just kind of stuck in that, like, oh, we're almost there, and then you just get knocked down the mountain again.
People were talking about, like, oh, the bullpen didn't get used yesterday, so they're refreshed. It's like, what? They were used like every day in May, and then a lot of June. Like, they need more breaks.
They had one day off. They're reset.
Yeah,
everything's
like,
good.
Well, they didn't have to play yesterday, and then also tomorrow, and then they were trying to talk about, like, the game earlier in the day was only Bayo and Chapman. It was like, it's still today, though. Like, just because the game was a different game, it's still also today. You want to, like, they didn't get a bonus day off just because we played a game earlier today. Like, yeah, Weissert needs kind of what he had last year. He got the Phantom, or I think last year's was even a real IL, but he got sent to the IL. He cooked down in Worcester for a little bit, and then he got pulled up. Like, he obviously needs, like, he needs his All-Star break to start tomorrow. Like, I don't want to see him again until after the All-Star game.
It was baffling how many people, after he gave up the grand slam tonight, were like, get him off the team, designate him for assignment. He sucks.
That's crazy.
He's clearly gassed. He's out of gas. Like, when Greg Weissert runs out of gas like this, he doesn't lose velocity. He loses control. He loses his ability to put pitches where he wants them to go. And that's what happened again tonight. So if you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, no, the velocity looks right. So like he's not, it's not like he's tired or anything. No. Like, if you know Greg Weissert, you know it's the accuracy that goes, not the velocity. So again, like, is it something where you just wait it out for the All-Star break at this point? Is the All-Star break even enough time to give him a blow? When you're talking about one of the most used, if not the most used reliever in the league, like,
he's got the most appearances in baseball. Like,
right.
Greg Weissert,
So, like,
that's crazy.
And he was your most used reliever last year, too. So it's like, he has been the guy who's posted more than anyone in this bullpen. And he's looked awesome. And then when he wears down, that it feels like we only have one reliever truly cooking at a time, and we just ride him into the fucking ground. Like, we did it with Bernardino. We're doing it now. Like, Slayton obviously is going through his shit. Like, it took poor Whitlock 3 years to get back after what we did to the boy. Like, we just bury these poor relievers.
Yeah.
It sucks when you see it too. You know when you see it. I remember with Schreiber a couple years ago where he was nails, and then they had that like little league game against whatever, the Orioles or something like that, where they were kind of technically in contention, and then he just got, rocked. And it was like, well, you know what? They've thrown him like 70 times. So like, obviously this was, and that was in August, by the way. At least that was a little bit further along the way. I think there are times, and I'm glad that we had talked to Durant about this, just about the grind of the season. There are times that I think people just forget that it's so hard to show up night in and night out and be really good at this game. Like, it's very, very difficult. Chapman's making it look pretty easy, especially for a guy that's pitched that many times in non-closed situations. I think that needs a little bit more credit. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and get super pissed at Greg Weissert. Like, this was, if anything, I think we were pretty honest about it earlier in the season where we're like, hey, ride the hot hand, but like wheels going to fall off at some point. Like this is, you can't just ride Greg Weissert all the way into the playoffs. That's not going to happen. So at least it's early July. I'm kind of thankful that we got to this point. Now to your point, Coley, hopefully, you know, he can have a little bit of a stretch here where you're not using him. Knowing Cora, that's not going to be the case, but you would want him to at least get a little bit of rest, take as much advantage of the All-Star break as possible, and then be ready to go for the second half. But yeah, I'm not super hopeful that's going to be the case.
It feels like they're going to turn to Hicks, who has been okay. Like today, he kind of just got BABIP to death. Like there was nothing like, oh, swinging a drive. Like it was just like, no, guys, just finding holes. He was on the mound when the Marcelo Roman Anthony miscommunication happened. And it's like, I kind of hate them being on the same side of the field unless it's going to be left field and third base. You know what I mean? Like that left field and shortstop are going to interact way more. And that's TS10. He's a veteran there, so he's going to be able to communicate that even if Roman can't. Today, like I think Marcelo catches that, but he at the last second drops his head to look like where is somebody, and Roman, I think it hung a little bit more than he expected because he doesn't play right field, and then it just ends up dropping, and then Roman tries to make up for it and just airmails a throw to second, and it was just like here they are, here are the boys, and then we're throwing it to home. We're getting no one out. It was very like when you come across like an MLB The Show clip on like TikTok or Instagram, and it's just like someone just running the bases, making someone else like force quit. I wanted to, and then the Toro, like he definitely tags Espinal, but because he's landing on his hand, you can't see that he's not on the bag. It's like, how many different ways can we fucking kill this cat? How many ways? It's brutal.
In the same inning.
Play, Jared. It was all one play.
It was all one continuous play. I'm like, can this play just end? Someone just hold on to the ball. Someone literally eat the ball. I would have loved if someone just ate it. Like, not even just a phrase. Just like literally eat this thing so they have to get a new ball. That was really bad. I didn't even get that upset about it because it's like, all right, these guys are rookies. I think we forget Celo's so smooth that it's like he did a dum-dum. That's crazy. Like, I actually wasn't expecting that. Roman, I'm not really sure what happened there. It's almost like he thought he had so much time. He didn't have that much time. Like, he still kind of had to put a real throw on that. But yeah, those just kind of compounded. That was a minor league play, and that's what these guys have been in the minors. Like, that's okay. But everybody else doing that on top of it is where it gets tricky. The TS10 play wasn't easy by any means, but I still expect him to make it. Sure. So when that ricochets off of him, it's you know, turn the controller off, turn the system off. It's like, this thing's over. What are we doing here?
I was kind of just glad that TS10 did a dumb because I didn't want to have to come on here and like come down hard on the rookies. Like
he did that to be nice to the rookies, right? He was like, guys, I can fuck up too.
We're all dumb. Yeah.
Roman didn't make the biggest mistake by someone whose name begins with like ROM today. So it's going to be hard for me to come in here and I think I said it 2 shows ago, like Romy would have to fuck up 45 times for me to be truly mad at him. That's how good he's been. But that was just like insane. I was like, is he trying to leg out a triple to left? What's going on here?
The dumbest of the dumb plays. I mean, there was nobody out. There's nobody out. You hit a ball to left field. You're trying to turn a very clear just double into a triple for what reason? Like, I understand it's like, man, Connor Wong's coming up, so like I better fucking get into super scoring position so we have enough chances. Like, he's not doing shit. On that real quick, how much are players while they're rounding second thinking who's on deck? I don't think that really happens ever. So I'm Connor Wong's here, and then he scrambles. He's like, I gotta go to third. That definitely happens.
I'm sure it does, but like the chaos of the play, I don't know if he's like looking over. Oh, right, Wong's on deck. Let me try to get third.
Like, especially when it's as egregious as Connor Wong. Like, he is the worst baseball player of all time. So if you're going into second base and you think you have a chance to get to third, then it's like, I need every opportunity as
There's
the
no
tying
outs, though.
run, right? He was the tying run at the time. This is a 5-4 ball game.
Yeah.
And he's thinking to himself, I know there's no outs, but there's definitely one. And so I need to get over to third if I can. Yes, Coley.
If he knows who's hitting behind him, he knows who's hitting behind him as well. Rafaela with a duck on second is driving him in.
I'm not
100%.
defending Romy at all. I think that was the play that kind of set in motion the whole fucking shitting their pants at the end of this game.
Absolutely why they lost. 1,000%.
If he ends up, because who had the base? Duran, right? Duran had the base hit to center field.
Yeah.
Like he scores on that because I believe there was 2 outs at the time.
Oh,
well,
yeah. I mean, all situations change based on what happened. But,
hit a ball to either center or right that was not deep enough to have advanced the runner to third. So yeah, I think it with 2 outs on that play, if he's running, which he obviously would be with 2 outs, like there's a chance that Romy scores from second base on like a little dumper into center.
You know how crazy it is that we're only like a week and a half from the All-Star break, and Wong comes up and they put the stat graphic on and it says 1 RBI, and it's because of a sac fly. If you showed me that, I would have assumed, oh, this guy missed 2 months, 2.5 months. He just got back 2 weeks ago. He got back last week. Now he's basically been around the whole season. I know he had a brief stint, but it's like this guy's been on the team and he was meant to be the starting catcher. You have like a rookie that's taken his place that looks like a 10-year vet, and you've been in the league. You've been the only guy left from the Mookie trade where we can I don't want to say we're hanging on to that, but it's like he was hitting like 300 at the break last year, by the way. He was one of their better hitters at the All-Star break, and this guy has 1 RBI. It feels illegal. Like if there was demotion in the bigs, they'd be like, sorry, brother, like you just can't play here anymore. You legally can't play on this team. You're that bad.
Not great. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what does Connor Wong do well? Not to single him out or anything. Like, there's a lot of guys that I'm not happy with after tonight's
hard
performance.
Not to single him out, honestly. Like they
but
win the game. They won 2 of the 3 games.
Yeah, but he didn't cost them the game.
He's played so poorly that he kind of deserves random disses like we're doing right now. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be some crazy fuck up. It's a season-long fuck up that he's been bad.
He's awful. I don't know how they haven't been like, we'll try anyone else at the position. Because it would be one thing if he was like throwing guys out on the base pass left and right and doing all this shit. Like, he doesn't do that either. It's not even like, I am a defensive first catcher. You're a nothing nobody. He doesn't do anything well. He doesn't.
He's a nothing first catcher. Yeah, that's exactly what he is. It's like, what's my specialty? It's absolutely nothing.
He's a quiet guy, grows a decent enough beard. Like, he's definitely not in the way of anyone.
I have nothing wrong with it, but he also isn't a vibes guy either.
No,
he does nothing. He's not good defensively. He doesn't does he even have a double? I know he doesn't have a home run. Obviously, his only fucking RBI is a sack fly. Does he have a double?
I hope he has an extra base hit.
I don't think he has an extra base hit.
No,
I don't think he does. I don't think he does, Steve.
He's got to have an XBH. That would be crazy.
I don't think he does.
He doesn't. Oh my god.
He doesn't. He doesn't have an extra base hit. He has no extra base hits. He has 1 RBI that came on a sac fly. He's not a good defensive catcher, and he's a mute. I don't think I've ever heard him speak. Like, it'd be one thing if he was in the dugout rallying the boys, and everyone was like, "Yeah, Connor, like he's the best. He's the man." Like, he doesn't do anything.
77 at bats and no extra base hits. He's got to be demoted, and not to the AAA or anything, just out of baseball. He's got to be sent out of the league and the sport in general.
What's he hitting?
It's let's see here, 156, which is actually higher than I thought.
Okay,
well, he gets singles here and there.
Well, 156 is certainly not.
He's got 12 singles. Yeah.
So what I wanted to look up is, like, people forget designated hitter is just defaulted to the pitcher. You can use it for any position. You don't have to use it for the pitcher. Pitchers all time over 925,000 at bats. hit 174. It would be better for us to hit our pitchers and DH for keep the gear on, my friend. You will not be in the box tonight. We will be DHing for our catcher.
But Coley, why go to these great lengths to cater to Connor Wong when he doesn't do anything well? I'm sure his teammates like him just fine. But from where
There's
I
no
sit,
proof of that. There's zero proof that they'd like him.
I feel like if they didn't, we would know. But like, there was one incident. It's not even an incident. It was just one happenstance that I go back to over and over and over again. It might have been 2022 or 21, one of those years.
Yeah,
he was in a media scrum. And I remember Christian Arroyo pretending to be a reporter, like using his phone and like sticking his microphone out. He didn't even as much as crack a smile. He didn't find it funny at all. And I'm like, if I try to like make one of my teammates laugh and they were like, this is serious, they're asking me questions about hitting a ball with a stick, don't do this right now. I don't know. That rubbed me the wrong way as far as like I don't know, man. If you can't laugh at that, then either way, whatever, dude. He sucks. He's just not good.
Definitely. I mean, I don't think DHing, being the first catcher to ever be DH'd for, would be catering to him. Like, he serves one purpose, and it's to give Carlos Narvaez a break every now and then.
You're telling me that there's not a catcher on earth that you think could do better offensively and defensively?
No, there obviously is. I think it was Yasmani Grandal. I think Grandal would have been a fine player to be on this team.
Grandal took one look at what Connor Wong was doing. And he said, if you guys would rather have that than what I can do, then I need to retire. And he did.
That's clearly the main reason he retired.
I agree with him. But I mean, we've seen who else have been called up thus far this year, and it was as bad as Wong. Although, what's his name? Buddy we got from the Giants has driven in more runs for certain. He's just Brett Sabal. Sabal had like a 2 RBI hit, let alone total. So he was better with the stick. No, he sucked. Yeah. That's the issue. That's the issue.
The no XBH is crazy to me. I thought that was wrong. I just assumed that was a wrong stat. Dumb assumption. He has no doubles.
Let me land the plane here for the fellas. If the backup catcher situation is probably the least of our worries. Yeah. It just pisses me off when I have to look at them on the day. Like, it's just very glaring when the captain's not in there. Like, on non-captain days, I'm like, we're not trying to win today.
I think it's a bigger issue than, like, I don't think it's that low on the depth chart, because if T were here, he'd be screaming about Carlos Narvaez has never played over 100 games ever ever in his life. In a single year has he played over 100 games. With that creeping up, he's been so awesome. But last year at this point, we're talking about how awesome Connor Wong was, and then they had him playing second and center. All the things that terrified Rafael Devers at night. Like, well, what position are you going to have me playing tomorrow? We were doing that with Connor Wong last year, and he's been awful. So, like, part of it is their fault. They did break him a little bit. Now he should be fine by now. He's not. So he does get a lot of blame too. But yeah, I think there's a reason you hear Sean Murphy's name connected to the Red Sox so frequently. Like, I think if they had someone who was good, not even just better than Wong, but a good catcher who could handle more of a 50-50 split the rest of this year and also moving forward, then I think you have a pretty viable situation on your hands.
Well, I don't really know what to say. Is that a situation that's even on their docket come trade deadline time? Like, we got to address the backup catcher situation? No. I mean, Murph
did it last year.
Who the fuck did they get last
year?
Jan,
brother.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was
when
your
he
starting
played for
catcher,
both teams.
though.
That was so sick. Like, oh my God.
He was your starting catcher, though.
Yeah, true.
Only because they wanted to play Wong at first and second.
They wanted him to play every position on the field.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. The Narvaez thing is a little bit concerning because I was just doing the math, and every year in the minors, you add it all up, he averaged 62 games played per year. yesterday or whenever I guess he played this afternoon?
Yeah.
65th game of the season this afternoon for Carlos Narvaez. I weirdly just assume he's like Superman and he'll be fine.
Correct.
Like, I don't think the way he carries himself, I don't think anything's really going to impact him in a negative way. I could see him going all the way through the season being like, yeah, I could do this for another couple months. But it is a big assumption to think that he's going to be performing at any similar level to this in August and September.
When you saw him on Friday, did he look tired?
No, dude. No. Talk for a little while, and no, you seem refreshed. He actually seems very refreshed. He seems like someone that hasn't been playing catcher, which still is the craziest position in sports. Like, that's such an unhuman thing to do, to be crouched that much, and he's doing it pretty easily. I think he's going to be good. Jerry, I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine. You're saying every game? Is that what you're alluding to here?
No.
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 So why can't he play the last 75?
You want him dead? You want him to die back
what
then.
I'm saying is I ain't worried about no full season for Carlos Narvaez. He's a grown-ass man, and he's the captain of the team.
He is the captain of the team. Yeah.
You're taking his hires on games played the rest of the year.
Yeah.
On the Underdog app?
Yeah. On the Underdog Fantasy app, which is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. I didn't do a pick'em today. What did I do this morning? We had to do Baseball is Dead at like fucking 5 a.m. to accommodate Dallas's schedule. It's been a long fucking day, folks. It's been a long day. It's my third
Are you happy
show
right now?
today.
You in a good mood by chance?
I'm not in a good mood. I just wish the Red Sox won this game because the vibes would have been pretty good. Like, you're still under 500, but like, you swept a good team, and yeah. Anyways, make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's JARED to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. And when T's not here, it's like some of my chuckles go away, you know?
Well, you never, obviously with T, you never know what you're going to get. He's going to say something every episode that somehow he hasn't mentioned in the last 3 years, which is like the craziest. His mom being black was wild. Like,
that was crazy.
There's no way.
The fact that his sister tried to kill him via arson was also
what?
I mean, I've been podcasting with this fella for the last 4 seasons, and he just had that one in his back pocket for some reason.
I assume half the time this is stuff that you heard that I didn't hear in those first couple of years that I wasn't with him. It's like, nope, these are fresh tea facts. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep. Had no idea. Said his late father was out of work for over a year putting out the flames that his sister set to in an attempted murder of Tyler Milliken, allegedly. That's those were stories those were fresh this year, brother. He will just you got to just sit back and let T be T, you know?
Mm-hmm. You never know when it's going to happen too. I've grown to love that. I think early on there would be times he'd chime in with something where like, what the hell are you talking about? Now it's like, the hell are you talking? This is insane. Like, keep going. Like, give me more of this story, because I've never heard any human say what you're about to say. Love you, T.
Love you, T. You know what I don't like is now that we're in, Steve, how old are you? 34?
34, yeah. Hanging on to that for another month and a half.
We're in our mid 30s. So now anytime that like I get into an argument on Twitter, people are like, bro, you're 40 and you do like, give me my I'm not 40 yet.
Like, let me get there first.
I got another half decade to go before I'm fucking 40. Like, the people that that's like their comeback is like, bro, you're 40, get off, like, go start a family. And it's like, I inherited one, you fucking asshole. And so when I like, because
of a hilarious reply, I technically have one, dickhead.
Yeah,
shut up.
Yeah, I have the financial burden of one, so like it's the same thing.
Same difference.
Yeah, and like, so like, I by osmosis I learn the kid slang of the modern times, and I'll hit people with that on Twitter as a joke, and then they think that I'm being serious, and then they'll be like, bro, you're 40, seriously saying this? I'm like, I hear it from them, and I'm using it in my lexicon.
You're old.
I'm not, though. Like,
I'm old.
Dude.
Now, if you were 18 and you were talking to a 35-year-old, you'd be like, look at this old fucking pussy. Like, that's exactly what you would think.
But does he look 35 or no?
That doesn't count. Like, when
Oh,
people
it definitely
don't age
counts.
the
It
same.
definitely counts. Like if I would, like I'm trying to think of like.
It counts in those arguments, by the way, because like that will come up sometime in the mentions. Like, bro, like how old even are you? I'm like, some people say I could pull 28. So technically that means you can't be calling me old because I could still be in my 20s.
I pretty much look the same that I did when I was like 27. I just grew my hair out.
You just have more hair. Yeah, it's really the only difference.
That's it. I just have more hair.
And then your penis grew. But
well, it's reduced.
Right. That's surgery.
Grew too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm thinking like think about if Steve, this is perfect for Steve. Some of like the WWE wrestlers, they're like in their fucking 40s. They're like mid to late 40s. And it's like, well, they're still cool. Like no one looks at them like, damn, Unk. No, they don't.
But what are these arguments built in? It's like we can't have Sox opinion. You have to have a family before you can have Sox opinions once you get to a certain age.
People do not like my opinions, and I have a family. Sorry, Jake.
That is true.
I will say this. There is a certain loser factor involved on my behalf that I am probably arguing with like 20-year-olds about baseball on the internet. But like, I can still fucking be present with my family and school you in a debate at the same time. Like, I'm not neglecting these people that live in my house. They feel very taken care of because they are. I can do both. I'm multitasking.
Sure, but you don't have to talk like the teens.
But I do it like it's funny to me that like I it's not lost on me that it's funny that I'm saying those things.
Sure, I just don't think if like an 18-year-old's going to find the same angle of humor that you're finding.
But it's like a dad joke, no? Like if you're
kids don't like dad jokes. Dads like dad jokes.
As long as I find it funny, I don't give up.
Right. That's an old person way of thinking.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not old. You're old.
I'm younger than you.
Oh, you're the oldest one here, Unk.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Grampy Jerry.
This guy.
No.
This old guy. There's got to be grays coming in. I don't know if
Oh,
you're
I got him in the
Jay.
beard. I got him in the beard. Yeah.
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 Red Sox win 13-6.
Put it this way. I'll be 50 still talking shit on Twitter. I ain't going nowhere. All these motherfuckers in the reply, like I built this shit. I've been here since 2009.
Yeah, because
where the
you're old
fuck
as
were
shit.
you in 2000? Yeah,
they were being
That
born.
doesn't help your argument.
you came into my house.
I've been here for 30 years. It's like, this is our point, you old fuck.
Oldest argument I've ever heard.
Nah.
You've been replaced by Cutter as king. Your time is over.
From the
How old's
Yankee
Liam
trolling,
Fantasy? How old is Liam? Do we know?
I don't know.
I don't think those guys. I know that Fitz. They never say their own fucking names. They always assume like he's Eric Bedard one episode. Fitzy Mo Pena, I know went to UMass with Tyler O'Day, so I can guesstimate their age range. So I don't know,
probably in that ballpark.
They're not exactly teens. They're just younger than us.
No, either way, credit to Liam because he's like he's a human that goes by his name on Twitter. I feel like we're some of the few people in Red Sox Twitter that are like, this is my name. And like, I'm putting tweets out as my name. I'm representing myself. No disrespect to any of the other accounts, but Liam's obviously coming for a spot because we're all old as shit.
You guys are old. I'm not.
You're so old, man. Like I have a ways to go to get to your age. You're 36, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not far from 40. I think you're basically at 40
I'm pretty
at
far.
this point.
You're closer to 40 than 30.
100%. There's no denying that. You can't deny that.
I am denying that.
All right. Your thoughts on game one?
Blue Moon was born in a ballpark at the Sandlot Brewery in Denver, Colorado. So it's no wonder
Didn't even
why
hear the
created
question you asked because he's an old man. He just went
bold
into another
flavor, bright explosion of color,
sit
and
in his
iconic
rocking chair
orange
with
slice.
some Blue
Ritual
Moons.
guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience, perfect year-round. And for the moments that you want a lighter option of your favorite beer, Reach for Blue Moon Light. It's a refreshing wheat beer brewed with real tangerine peel for a lighter, exceptional taste at only 95 calories. I'll probably be drinking some Blue Moons on the 4th of July, which is on Friday, yeah?
4th of July. Yep. That's on
4th
Friday.
of July.
I hope you should have just gone through with that. I don't know why you stopped.
Well, because he started saying June. That's what he said. July.
That's Friday?
Friday,
Oh, yeah.
the 4th of July.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be drinking some Blue Moons on the 4th of July.
When you're sucking down on those moons, what does that sound like?
That's your
that's
your
4th of
prostate
July.
when you try and tinkle.
Oh, come on. No, I have a good flow.
Old ass.
I got a good flow. Inspired by the beer you already love and available year-round, a wheat beer from Blue Moon with exceptional taste and only 95 calories. Brightly brewed with real tangerine peel, tastes light and refreshing. Nothing compares to the great taste of a Blue Moon Light. Blue Moon made brighter. Get Blue Moon Light delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared for delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Suck one.
Suck one.
Yeah. Who started game one?
Crochet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This was the.
That felt like a week ago. Yeah, super.
It really did. This was the Views game. This was the Views game. On Natson, and it was quite the experience because it was a weird game. Dare I say, Steve, it was a little fucked up on
Damn it.
Monday. Right?
Game one. What was game one? You're asking what game one was?
No, I know what game one was.
It was funky.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Steve?
Crazy.
We have a listen. Like, I understand that we're old now, but that doesn't mean that we don't have fucking children that are listening to this. I was at the 99 last night, and there was like there's a little league team that came up to my booth. And they were like, oh my God, Mr. Jerry, can I have a picture? Little fucking children listen to this show, and you've got Steven just dropping hard Fs on the podcast.
I don't know if I've done an intentional F in a long time, but that's how crazy that game was. I mean, Jemai was saying a couple of them on the broadcast too. He had a couple, but I don't know if he knows the rules.
But he was in retro mode.
Yeah, that's true. So he was doing it from 50 years ago. So that's a little bit different.
Yeah,
the rule didn't exist back then.
Right. Yeah. Podcast did not exist in 75.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Jemai was looking fly as hell out there.
Ooh-wee.
I mean, you want to talk about someone that had feel for the moment. Like, oh, we're doing 75 throwback night. All right. Yeah. Okay. He brought the thunder. He brought the lightning too.
He brought both.
Which
no, literally. I
mean,
yeah,
that's true. That actually happened on Tuesday. That happened on Tuesday. Yeah. I warned people about that. Steve said, carry on.
No. I said it was going to flood on Tuesday. What are you talking about? There's a clip. There's footage of me saying it's going to be bad on Tuesday. Coley?
I remember we started talking tornadoes and mouse taka. I thought that was a Worcester issue, and it flooded the whole damn state.
It really did.
Started in Worcester and there were a couple people in the comments like, this is all Steve's fault. I told you it was going to rain on Tuesday. I told you that was going to happen. Come on.
You dared Mother Nature to step it up.
No, I didn't. I think you did. You started the look ahead with the sound effects of thunder and lightning and rain. I would say that you probably pushed that a little more than me.
Yeah, but I was trying to warn people so that they were safe.
That's a good point. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Either way, I don't think either of us is in the wrong. We let people know this was going to be a serious weather event, and that's exactly what it was on Tuesday.
Oh my God. Yeah, people have died because of this.
R.I.P. to those people, by the way. Good people that we lost
shout
on
'em out.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yep.
but like at the same time, like, you know, if you would listen to the segment, maybe you'd still be here. It's a little
Yeah.
too soon to be saying that, I think, but it's how I
screw
feel.
those people.
What?
It's
On
been 24
Wednesday?
hours. Like, we're not going to feel bad for those people anymore.
Their family's been notified.
Yeah, they're aware. They're aware. So yeah, I guess fuck those people. But at the end of the day,
People suck.
the Garrett Crochet game was that uncharacteristic.
Bizarre.
Unusual. Yeah.
Mhm.
It was a very
Odd.
yeah,
Peculiar.
it was quite peculiar.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
I know exactly what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
I'm looking up synonyms for the
Yep,
F word.
Yep.
Yeah, but it
Groovy.
goes immediately to like the disco version of the hard F.
Yeah, that's not right.
Just on
different-
par.
It was erratic. I would say it was a little kooky,
Weird. A little kooky?
a little outlandish, maybe.
It was a little unconventional, I would say.
Little out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was a little off kilter, some
Mhm.
would say.
I'd argue it was a little wacky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you argue?
It-
Well, I heard some fellas down at the plant say it was quite capricious.
Yeah.
That was the next thing I was going to say. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It was quite uncommon for the most part, for
Mhm.
me at least, you know.
Quite offbeat
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. And you know, I was sitting there the whole time thinking this is pretty perplexing.
Mm-hmm.
Bewildering,
The long-
I would argue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Longer the game
Yeah.
went on, I'm like, this is atypical.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I interrupted Pap mid-sentence. I was like, Pap, don't you think this game's a little bewildering? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what he said back?
I'm Jared's just gonna take mine the next time again too.
No, I mean, I just want to tell you what Pap said because I know you probably weren't watching.
What did Pap say after
You
that?
said you said it. Yeah. What did Pap say?
Pap said this game's quite mystifying. If I had to
Yeah.
put it to
Yeah,
a word,
yeah.
yeah.
Alana was there, right?
Yeah, Alana actually she called it she used a different F word. She
God.
called it freaky.
Ooh, okay. I thought she called it unorthodox by chance.
She
Was that
did.
later?
She said that
Okay.
later on. Yeah, she said
Okay.
she said it was a little unorthodox. She said it was a little nonconformist.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Probably a little
Mhm.
puzzling, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
What did you say about it, Coley?
I mean, I didn't. I was just sitting there
Oh.
in astonishment
Oh.
at the series of
Mm.
events that
Mhm.
unfolded.
Yeah.
Because like
Mhm.
Crochet, we've become so accustomed to one way, and then he
Yeah.
took it a completely other way.
Oh,
Mm.
like you wouldn't believe. Yeah. It was
Mm.
like bizarro. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uncustomary comes to mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I
Red Sox
didn't
win.
the Red Sox did win this game. But at the end of the day, it's we're not walking away from a 5-run 4 Ernie performance from
Big crotch.
Crochet. Yeah,
From
we're
who the
not-
hell's that fucking guy?
from Crochet being like,
Hey,
oh, I'm
Gary Crotches.
concerned about the innings
Nah.
totals getting up there. Like, no.
I mean, he
This is
never
a
gets run
nothing
support.
burger.
He finally got run support. Like, that has to factor into that start. You can't possibly tell me that the Sox scoring 1 million runs in the first inning doesn't change your mentality as a pitcher that never gets that for any of his starts. That is kind of weird that was his first win at Fenway as a member of the Red Sox when he gives up 5 earned to the Reds. Not to say the Reds are a bad team by any means, but yeah, kind of an odd start overall. The longer it went, I was like, okay, this isn't the normal guy that we're used to seeing, but if anything, that means he's going to be nails in DC.
I hope so.
That'd be good.
I think
If
Max
he-
Muncy just like died. What the hell happened here?
What?
He fucked his knee up. Kershaw still doesn't have 3 Ks, and it's the 6th inning.
Well, I think
Anyway.
he's one away, right?
He is one away, but it's just like he's at like 100 pitches and he's got 2 Ks. Oh no, Muncy's that looks bad.
What happened, Steve?
I don't know. I just see him limping off.
I
Just
don't
on
like
3K
that.
watch here.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Well, the injury seemed kind of freakish.
Ooh, okay.
Bad.
Yeah, perplexing.
Ungood.
You know, I will say, I called out the pitch tip on Chase Burns. I was happy with myself that I was like, I earned my paycheck tonight. I saw it, called it out as a Major League Baseball broadcaster.
Yep.
Um,
And a super fan.
it was interesting after having the conversation with Jaron at the house where he talked about how giddy he gets when he does see something, and to have it happen in less than a week where he clearly picked up a tip and was relaying it to his teammates, and that resulted in a 7-run first inning.
Yeah, 7-0 in the first.
Yeah,
What did the line end up being? So he gets 1 out,
1 out.
5 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned, 2 walks, and a bomb to TS10. That is crazy. Regardless of picking up pitches or anything or getting a tell, like, he sucked. That's one of the worst outings you can possibly have. I get that it's his second career start, but if you're going to Fenway thinking like, oh, we're getting this, couple of flamethrowers out there, what a pitching matchup. You show up late, one of the guys just isn't in the pitching matchup anymore. I haven't seen that in quite some time.
I was
There's
very
a
excited
strong
about that.
chance. Yeah, same. There's a strong chance that goes down as his worst start of his career. Like,
Yeah, has to be in the running. I mean, I would
Hard
hope,
to be worse.
just for his sake. He's a fun person to watch based solely off that
big time.
Yankees start. It's like, I would hope he's not just getting rocked like that.
Very hard to be worse than that.
Mm.
It's very hard to be allowed to be worse than that, I guess I should
Right.
say.
Could you argue that's kind of a veteran move for a rookie? Like, let me just get the worst one out of the way early so I can't be worse than that. Like, that's kind of next level when you think about it. It's like, I'm only
Yeah.
going to impress Reds fans now because I was miserable at Fenway Park. I know they were mentioned on the broadcast, and I obviously disagree with OB a lot, but he had said, oh, you got to factor in now. This is, Fenway Park is a whole different animal. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this kid doesn't seem like someone that's going to be all rattled about his surroundings. Like, he throws 101 just to stay in shape. Like, I don't think he's really going to be like, oh, Fenway Park, I can't get anybody out. I just think he sucked. I think it was as simple as like they picked up on, Attell, and he was bad. So I don't know if the park factored in or the crowd or whatever.
It's really
I don't
all
know.
it was. He was tipping.
But I feel like that wall feels so much closer when you
Oh, sure.
suck. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I don't
it feels
think
like it's at
helps.
shortstop if you're giving up hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I get it.
I imagine like a more cavernous field. You're like, all right, if I just get like a weak pop up or something, but at Fenway, it's like, oh, if I'm near the plate, TS10 is going to go nuke town.
Kershaw
Big
just
time. Yeah, he just
3K.
did it, right? Okay.
Yep.
There we go.
Were they going to let him pitch till he did it?
There's no way. Like, he was at like 100 something. I think he would have had it. That would have been tough if he only got 2 Ks against the White Sox. He didn't pull it off.
They're like, please swing. Please, White
Yeah,
Sox.
they have a deal with the guy in the box. We will just pay you to strike out here. We can't have all these fans go home without 3 Ks.
Ugh. Yeah, that's kind of awkward to do 3K after like Muncy looks like he just destroyed his fucking knee. He's been one of their best hitters too.
Yeah, he's doing like the curtain call, and it's like Max Muncy's dead in the clubhouse. That is kind of tough.
He did dot that for 3K. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, that was a nice K.
Yeah, painted it. That ended the inning too.
Yeah.
He just casually walked off too.
Yeah, he did a little hat tip. He did a little wavy deuce.
Yeah, it was dotted. Good for Clayton. Crowd's going nuts. Dave Roberts is celebrating more than Kershaw is. That's cool. That's a really cool moment. Good for him. Good for him. 3.
Shout him out.
Shout him out.
Clayton. Kershaw. That's great. Best pitcher of the generation? Would you argue?
I would.
Better than Verlander.
Oh, I would. If I could take anyone over these last, what are we calling it? 15, 20 years for one game, it's Scherzer.
For one game, that's different than like pitcher of the generation, though.
But I don't know that it is, because like I would say the same for Pedro. There are guys who pitched in Pedro's generation, like Clemens, who had better career numbers.
Randy Johnson.
So what is it? That's what I mean. Randy Johnson stacked up Cy Young after Cy Young. Like I can't, right? And I would take Pedro over all those guys, and you would too.
I mean, yes. Like I feel like that generation's argument is a lot more difficult than this generation's argument.
Oh, I don't think so.
I feel like if you say Kershaw, put it this way.
When Pedro had the 1.74 ERA, the next number 2 was what, like 3.01 in all of baseball? Like he was doubling up whatever second place was, or he was halving it.
I'd like to see what Randy Johnson's numbers were, because like he was as dominant.
Randy Johnson was super dominant. I'm saying for one season, Pedro, where there was like a 4-year stretch where I don't think anyone in history was touching Pedro.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Like I think Kershaw is obvious. Like, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's worthy of the conversation. I think he beat up on like a horrid, putrid NL West for the vast majority of his career, and I don't think the playoff shit is like a mistake. It's not Mike Trout having like 3 at bats in the playoffs. You know what I mean? I think that was, yeah, you got to play the Rockies and even like the Giants were winning World Series with just the most dog shit offenses you've ever seen. So him like not like the Padres were a disgrace. Like he pitched in a bad NL West for the majority of his career.
So now we're going to, on the night that he reaches 3,000 strikeouts, we're going to.
You asked a question. Scherzer won a Cy Young in both leagues. That means something to me. Pedro did that. Clemens did that. Randy did that. Like that is, did Maddox do it? No, because he only played for the Cubs and the fucking Braves. So like that's a rare air. Scherzer was a dog.
They were all dogs.
They were.
Credit to Clayton Kershaw. There you go, man. Big night. Woohoo.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Who's the next
future Red Sox
on the list?
For 3,000?
Strikeout.
Isn't that the whole reason they did the stream? That no one's going to do it ever again?
But this is like the last one ever? Yeah, so the only active guys are Verlander, Scherzer,
Sale
and
can get there.
No,
Sale's at like 2,500.
472 away.
That's very
he's
doable.
36. He can do that.
He can get there. He might be 40, but he'll get there.
Maybe.
No, he'll get there.
It's
Garrett
close
Cole
enough, but I don't.
749.
He ain't getting there.
He's 34 years old.
Yeah,
that seems more likely to
He
me.
may never pitch another game, honestly.
Yeah, he also sucks when he does pitch.
The other guy
bad.
the other guy's rib cage just exploded.
Yeah, but you can get a new one. You can get new ones. Sometimes in life, if you want to get to the truth, you have to look at the numbers. Unfortunately, 50% of all dogs over 10 years old will die of cancer, and the other 40 to 50% suffer miserably from skin issues or joint problems. And this is widely attributed to your dog's diet. These numbers are what inspired Dr. Dennis Black to create Rough Greens. So here's the good news. With thousands of testimonials with 5-star reviews every month, Rough Greens is now the #1 all-natural dog supplement in America. They have helped millions of pups like Ace stay active and be healthy, and your pup could be next. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens. Fetch a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Use the promo code section10. That's rough, RUFF greens.com. Promo code section10. That's 10. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of rough greens. Yeah, that first game, I'm trying to think of like they ambushed him.
Yeah.
What happened after that? Because then it got close again.
Willier happened after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately Willier is gonna clean house with the votes, but it just sucks that he got boned tonight. Like, that was his game. That was his emphasis. The exclamation point on his catch-up was him hitting that homer tonight, which by the way, when I saw it land, I was like, why is he running? That's a ground rule double. I didn't even realize it went over the fence.
It was hard to see from that angle. It was hard to see if it bounced over or not. It is funny, that kind of ball right there is what Willier probably would have caught. So he hits a homer that if he's in right field, he's probably making the play.
Yeah.
Willier's going neck first into the third row. He doesn't care.
Yeah, and if he doesn't catch it, he's going to like die doing it because that's what he does.
Love Willier. Love Willier. And then we bring ourselves to the middle game, which was the Steve game, the game that Steve promised would go off without a hitch. It didn't.
Did not say that.
You did.
Driest night ever.
Yeah. They said,
told you it was going to flood. It flooded.
Leave your poncho at home game, according to Steve, the weatherman Peralt. No, you said it. You said it.
I didn't say
You
it.
said
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I didn't.
You said it.
I didn't say
it. And people heard you when you said it too, apparently.
People got upset. People got really upset at me. And it's like, dude, I literally told you it was going to rain. I don't know what you're upset about.
The Fenway Park grounds crew bases their strategy around your weather report on this podcast.
No, I know.
So
I'm well aware of that.
They almost didn't even have a tarp on Tuesday. They were like, just move it to like the parking lot. It's kind of taking up space in the field of play. And they had to like rush to bring like the backup tarp out onto the field.
No, I told them it was going to rain. It rained. I don't really understand why people are upset at me, but I'd rather talk about the 1975 broadcast, honestly, than the rain.
Yeah, let's talk about that. That's a good talking point.
100%.
I loved it. I saw people hated it. So that checks out. Usually things that I like, people hate. Things that I hate, people like. By the way, Steve, you didn't respond on Twitter today.
To what? What did I not respond to? You saying you had a thought? I thought you were going to say it here. Are we talking ice cream hat right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a separate topic. That can be.
Yeah. We'll save it. Yeah, we'll save it for the ice cream hat segment.
Broadcast. Why did you just bring up the ice cream hat?
No.
That has nothing to do with the broadcast.
Steve, we'll save that for the ice cream hat segment that we had built into the rundown.
100%. That was actually the first segment we had, but we've kind of moved around a little bit. The Red Sox have us a little bit scattered, so understandable.
Yeah.
But again, we had that at number 1, and we're moving it down the list.
Yeah, moving it down. So, the throwback broadcast
was great.
It was great, and it was also very funny because of how stupid people are when they go to this retro look. They take away the strike zone. They have the different score bug. And the amount of people that were like, I fucking hate it. They need to go back. Like, what are they doing? It's like, no, they're gonna go back in like a couple innings. Like, they're doing this for 3 innings. I think it's cool. It's not even like nostalgia. I wasn't alive for 1975. I just think it's cool to have like vintage that throwback feel. Yeah, like who gives a fuck? Anyone that was complaining about it, I feel like it's like the people that complain about the alt cast. They're like, why are these people talking during the game? And like, why don't they move the boxes? You can just go to the real broadcast. You don't have to watch the altcast. Like, you're the idiot that tuned into the altcast. These people, they think that they had a meeting at Nesson and they were like, all right, guys, I got it. Brand new broadcast. We're going to make it look like 1975. We're going to make the video quality look worse. We're going to get rid of the ability to see if there are any runners on base. You know how like everyone is super obsessed with velocity these days? Let's not show that. Let's not show it. I'm good with that. and we'll just use the same template from the 75 World Series. You guys into that? All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
People thought that this was just going to be forever. It's, man, you think, I don't think I'm a very smart person. I would say I'm probably average on like the intelligence scale, like right there in the middle. But man, there are a lot of people that are not even average intelligence. There's a lot of people that are on the lower end of that intelligence spectrum.
Literally half of all people are below average intelligence. That's just how that works.
That is how the numbers go. Yeah, that is 100% true. I was surprised, Jared, that you're crunching those numbers real quick.
Crunch the numbers, checks out.
Okay, good. Well, because you're smart. That's why they checked out when you're doing them. But I was surprised the amount of people that were like, oh, okay, that's what they were. I was trying to figure it out. There's a bug in the top right that says celebrating 1975. Like, that's very clear that's what they were doing. But even putting that to the side, not trying to make this a get pissed at people segment, I thought this was one of the coolest things NESN has ever done in the history of the blue ticket. When they said it initially a series ago, that was like, oh, okay, we're going to have our 1975 broadcast and talk about the suits they were going to wear. I was like, that's decent, but do I really care what their wardrobe is? Not really. When they made it the broadcast, that was awesome. I needed to be known because I never compliment NESN. NESN, you did a great job here. You did a really cool thing. NESN? Well, because I've got some beef with people there, but you did a really cool thing here, NESN. I applaud you for it. The graphics were incredible. I thought the contrast on the screen was really cool to make it kind of dim. I love the wipes. The wipes were great. We've lost the art of the wipe in a broadcast. They had like the stars zoom out wipe. I love the team stats. Even the rain delay graphic looked really cool. Having that as like background, I muted it just because I think they were rerunning some stuff during the rain delay. But having the rain with kind of the darker screen and the rain delay graphic there, I was like, this is really nice for the ambiance. I mean, the obvious thing that we alluded to earlier, Jemiah Webster knew it was his night. He knew he had the ingredients to make it his night, and he knocked it out of the park. He won the evening. I'd argue he won the series. Considering what the Red Sox did in the finale, I think Jemiah deserves, I don't want to jump ahead here, but it's like he should get some ketchup for this, or at least some packets. The only beef I had, and a lot of people mention this, but I don't understand why we can't wear 1975 jerseys. Everyone's like, oh, it's the Nike restrictions. Well, why though? Like, we have to go a step back. Like, why do they have these restrictions? This would be money for them. They would make the money. It's almost like we're forgetting the restrictions Nike has is like just preventing them from making more money. So I still don't fully understand why they can't do that. But overall, this is one of the coolest things I've seen in a Red Sox broadcast ever. And I hope they try new things like this more often.
I do think it's a Fanatics issue, not a Nike issue. But
that would make more sense.
The NFL does this silly shit too, where it's like they just lifted helmet restrictions so that you could open up more jersey combinations. Like, enough, dude. Like the amount of times, like, I know you do a lot of perusing on these sites too. The amount of like fake jerseys they sell. I don't mean fake in terms of quality. I mean fake in terms of like, it'll be a brown jersey with like a little bit of camo on it for like the guy who cosplays being a Troop Patriot fan. It's like, the fuck, what? Like, you're going to sell 4 of these. Like, what are you doing? This isn't that hard, man. Like, this really isn't that hard. I enjoyed the aesthetic. I hate not knowing if there are runners on. Hate it. Like, you could have added that and it wouldn't have like broken the experience at all.
Also, so the amount of people that are watching that we don't know exactly what it looked like in 1975. So you could have like tricked a lot of people that they did show you who was on base at that point. So you could have just gotten away with that without even like making it seem like you were doing an exact replica.
I feel like I know, like, they used to just flash the score every now and then.
Yeah,
and
it would come back from the commercial break, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, or if like runs scored, like it would not be up, like it would be just the game. So they didn't even fully commit to the bit. Back NBA up until like, I don't know, 99, they didn't have the ability to have like a shot clock. They would film the shot clock, which is why if you watch old games, it's like shaky because like the building is going crazy. So like, yeah, they could have committed a little bit more on that. Jemiah is my number 2, is my runner up, because I think they're, as much as he crushed it, I can still tell he was not of the era. Jim Rice is of the era, and I thought him having the matching tie with the lapels, all that, like, I can't remember who was talking. Might have been Middlebrooks, who was just like, yeah, Jim said, don't buy me anything, Ness, and I got my own stuff at home. And you could tell, like, that, being able to flex like that. I almost wish he went a little bit more like Walt Clyde Frazier. Like, he's almost a little too reserved. Like, let it out. Like, obviously it's still in the closet, Jimmy. Like, pull it out.
I mean, that's his big moment too. The brief part that I heard during the rain delay, they were asking him about stuff in 75, and he's like, "You got to remember now, you don't have a suit, you don't get on that plane. You don't have a suit, you don't get on that plane." Like, he was breaking down all the ins and outs of fashion back then, and it was riveting. Honestly, like, we get used to hearing Jim. I think Jim's been good on the post game. Like, I have no issue with what Jim Rice has done on the pre and post. He's put in hours on the pre and post. If you had added those up at this point, he's got to be in first place and Ness in history, obviously next to TC. But yeah, it was just cool to, when he talks about 75, you get a different version of Jim. And they had a segment earlier in the season where Carlton Fisk was up there, and he was just, his eyes were lighting up. Like, his whole personality was coming back from that time, where I feel like he is a little bit reserved on the post game. He really came out and was like his full self talking with Fisk. Because I feel like Jim Rice is that kind of guy where it's like, no, you're going to get, pretty tame Jim Rice. But if you get me with my guys, from the guys that I went to battle with, like, you'll get a different version. So him talking about 75 was one of the cooler parts of the whole night.
They were re-airing that segment with Fisk during the rain delay because they were like, we're done talking about the 2 innings.
They had nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, well, he had nothing. Like, nothing had happened in the game. There wasn't enough game to talk about. They were like, we'll throw it back to that. Everyone on set, because Fisk has, I believe, the bat from the home run.
Yep.
And everyone's wearing white gloves except for Jim Rice, who's like, I don't need to touch the fucking bat. Like, I'm all set. Like, it's just so funny.
Which is a classic Rice thing to do. Is like, you think I'm going to touch that bat? Like, why am I touching that bat? Like, this is stupid. I find this whole thing to be silly. It is funny during those rain delays. And I just remember when I was working at Nesson ages ago, the rain delay would happen and it was everyone's worst nightmare. Because it's like, it's not like you have a rain delay rundown for what you're going to do. You're just hoping the game goes clean. So you kind of have to wing a lot of that. And I can always tell when they're coming back from break and they don't have like a full plan after they've gone through what you said, which is like a couple of segments. They'll bring Jemai up and it'll be like, so back at Fenway Park, Red Sox, Reds, we're in a rain delay. We're still in a rain delay. Not much happening here. And you can just tell he's like stretching it. He's like trying to just buy some time until the next thing happens. So I have respect for those guys during rain delays, especially the one in game 2. Because that was like 2+ hours, I think. I mean, that was going on for a while. That was obviously way longer than the actual game was. So, once you get that news that the game's canceled, it's like, thank God. So they can actually just all go home and stop having to do coverage.
Fenway does not trust their meteorologist. They have to be the last in the league at calling games. Like, they have to wait later than any other team to call it.
Well, they trust what they trust the most, which is merch and beer sales.
Sure.
Like that's what they really want to lean into the most. But no, I mean, there's been, to that point, I think there's been more 2-hour rain delays at Fenway Park than any other team in baseball. I don't, obviously we don't have those numbers, but I can just say that the Sox are in first place at that.
Well, I don't know. I don't mind a good rain delay. I like how unusual and how it's kind of like a substitute teacher day in school when it's like, oh, we can, like, when a game resumes like today and everyone that was at the game has gone home and they've decided we're not coming back for this game getting picked back up again. Then let's, like, you got those weird crowds where it's like there's not, like, they're rowdier. It's like we're the crazy people that came back again to see the same fucking game. Those crowds are always fun. So
there were a couple in the earlier years of Section 10 that got really out of hand, like 18-inning games, like back in the Hanley era, where Eck would just be like, please, God, just anything. I would take a 4-run loss right now. Like, give me anything to get the hell out of here. And they would have a bunch of drunkos behind the plate starting funny chants, and the broadcast had to pick them up. You couldn't blur them out because they're right behind, getting that mic right behind the plate. They're like, we're either going to get rid of the audio from the park, or we're gonna have these people get their chance onto the game. So I do with the Ghost Runner. I do miss that. I do miss those nights. We had a couple that went until like 2:30 in the morning, and I was like, if you're still up right now, I appreciate you.
The rain delay is such a unique baseball thing. Like it really does. Every once in a while, what was that Monday Night Football game, or maybe Sunday night, where it was like lightning was in the area, so they didn't start till 10. I think it was Steelers Cowboys.
And a couple
last
Hall
year.
of Fame games where that happens too. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
delays.
Hall of Fame game. Yeah. Because they don't want anyone getting hurt there. They don't give a fuck
Yeah.
about regular season. But like, it's such a uniquely baseball thing. It is kind of crazy. They have no plan for it still to this day. Like, I'm just like, I don't know a single broadcast out there that's got like a rain delay plan.
No,
Not one.
no. Well, it's like the season's so long and there's so many broadcasts that like it's hard enough to just get through a season of broadcasts and
Sure.
not feel like you're going to collapse by the end of it. If you had to plan out a whole rain delay schedule every night, that's
Not
so
every
much
night.
more
I'm
work.
saying like you have
For the
a
ones that are
standard
obvious.
pitch you throw it to. Like, why? What? Like, how much would it be for Nesson to like get the rights to like 30 episodes of The Office for? You know what I mean? Like, just like we're gonna keep you on the channel. You know what I mean? Like, whatever the most like popular stream show is, like, how much could those rights? It would be worth it to keep people
That's when
there.
they lose you, though. Like for me, the consumer, if there's a rain delay, I'm way more likely to stay locked in if I have Jim Rice and Jemai dicking around and like they're taking questions on Twitter. If they were like, all right, like we're gonna kick you over to an episode of Charlie Moore Outdoors and we'll be right back when the game starts playing again. It's like you're just gonna be like, all right, like I want Red Sox right now. Like I'm a Red Sox fan. I'm tuned in to watch Red Sox, and now I'm getting something else. So now I'm gonna flip the channel, or I'm gonna shut the TV off, or I'm gonna go watch a movie. Like I if
then
it's
they
like
should have 30 classic Red Sox games ready to be played.
that,
I
too,
agree.
I mean,
I
like
agree
so
with Jerry.
I would sit
I agree
through
with
that.
Jerry.
Like,
I like when there's stuff there. I like when it's at the park. I like if we're,
Yeah,
we're
I
doing
like
a
feeling
Twitter
like
AMA.
even-
I kind of like that.
yeah, it's like, all right, there's no game right now, but I like feeling like I'm still involved. Like I'm still in this. This is an active, ongoing thing. It's not something that I've ever seen before.
This is an ongoing situation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's way too dire.
Made it seem like there was like a shooter or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah, that's exactly.
No,
We're
like,
back at Fenway. We don't know where he is. but
Everyone
he's
stay
somewhere.
where you are. Shelter
Yeah.
in
Well,
place.
'cause if
Tessie
you
has
play-
gone off the deep end.
if you
Jeez,
play
gotta
an
go.
old game, that's not an active, ongoing thing. I want it to be
But
live content.
you could have them commentating it with like like you could have Jim Rice talking about one of his games. Obviously, you don't have a player representing every era, but if him and Jemai and TC were calling like Manny and Poppy from 04, that would I would be glued to it.
There's so much Red Sox stuff that's in the archives, especially at Nesson. They have an entire room that has 8 million tapes. You could easily do live commentary of anything. You could do live commentary of like Sox appeal, and that would crush like anything that's in the archives. I feel like they would do a really good job at. I know they've had Jemai and like a reporter come on and just kind of shoot the shit. More of that, I think, plays. And I don't even want to get on Nesson here because we're going good right now. I think you guys did a great broadcast, but it's like I agree with Jerry. I think when you feel like you're still in the park, it's kind of cool. You're in your own little rain delay at home. You're kind of on the couch, you're comfy, and it's like, all right, I want to see what the tarp looks like. I want some updates. I think they had Pap last year just talking about what the players would do in the clubhouse during a rain delay. Now, I know that's kind of a softball question, but it's like, I kind of want to hear some stories about guys being, goofing around during a delay in like Anaheim, which bad example because it never rains there. But
that's what would keep people there is if they could go into the clubhouse and talk.
That
to
would be
fellas.
hilarious. If
Right,
they
that would
interview
be
the
great.
dudes,
Obviously, they're not
actually
going to do that.
They would never agree to it, but that would be awesome.
Ever.
You just get to have Jemai hang out with the guys playing a card game in the clubhouse. That would crush. Obviously, it would never happen.
I'm trying to figure out like the best balance of keep as many people on that station and as little work for the people who, like we already said, do like 2 segments and then are out of ideas because they're like, we don't want to.
They should have people fight.
Sure.
They should
like imagine
they should bring
like
people
it's a
up
rain
from the
delay
stands
and Jim
fight.
Rice just takes his shirt off. He's like, all right, let's go. Mom,
Another
rain
drill.
delay.
Hey, have a QR code, and if you reach a certain amount of money donated to the Jimmy Fund, Jim Ray's gonna take his shirt off and dive on the tarp. Like,
Beat
Oh,
the shit
yeah.
out of you.
tell me that wouldn't crush. You could raise a lot of money for and then hey, maybe a certain amount of money. It's a fully nude Jim Rice on the
Yeah,
field,
okay.
diving on the tarp. Tell me that wouldn't crush. Just saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely things that they can do. I feel like we need to call for a production meeting with Nesson so that we can pitch different rain delay ideas. The thing that would suck though, it's like that you kind of have to be an in-house staff for that. Like you can't volunteer or pitch like the rain delay crew, because even if rain is in the forecast, we don't know that there's going to be a rain delay, or if there's a rain out, then now you can't shine. You know, you're not going to get your opportunity to do your rain delay thing. So you really have to be on staff that day. Like you kind of have to be a versatile weapon in the entertainment business. Like Will Middlebrooks. It's like, all right, he's in the booth for the game, but it's like, all right, rain delay. Now get your ass out to Wasabi and like, let's do something weird. So not that he would be against that. I think he would absolutely be able to do that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it comes down to having a list of rain delay stuff, and then it should be paired with the amount of time the rain delay is. Like, let's get our normal first 20 minutes of whatever. Let's recap the game, do some highlights. You start getting past an hour, let's start getting weird. Let's start doing some stuff you wouldn't normally do and try to find where that line is for basic cable.
Yeah. I mean, Pap
Pap
tries to find that line every time he's on television.
100%. I couldn't believe the amount of times he swore that first all cast. I was like, he does not care at all.
No. But you can say shit.
Mm-hmm. And he knew that.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Mm-hmm.
It was like when Maz learned. I mean, what can they say? Well, sucks, obviously. Everybody sucks.
He said pussy on the air today, and I didn't think that you could say that.
I don't think. Can you? I didn't think that one would go. I guess technically you can say anything, but like whatever the magic words are. Can you say bitch on radio?
I don't. I think so.
It's one of those things you can technically say anything. It's whether or not advertisers are going to stick with you. It really has nothing to do with like, there's no law. You're not going to get arrested. You know what I mean? It really is just like, hey, are enough people going to complain where advertisers are going to stop spending money with you?
That's probably why Breslow doesn't do radio spots, because he just
right
swearing like crazy. Yeah.
Felger gets away with some stuff. Like he'll talk about like floppy penis and stuff like that.
I think that's
like he said something
Classic.
like he said something like a few weeks ago where I was like, I didn't know you could say that. But
classic phrase that comes up in sports conversations, floppy penis. That's always one where it's like, I have to say this right now. It's super relevant.
Yeah, but like, so you can say I'm pissed off. But I remember they had to dump me one time because I said he pissed down his leg on the mound. And they were like, whoa, can't say that. Like, you crazy? Yeah, I could say like, this guy's pissing me off, but I can't say this guy pissed down his leg on the mound. It's different. So stupid.
Okay.
What's the difference? It's the same word. Like the action is like we're talking about anger versus urine. Like it's piss. I said piss.
Clip that, Jeremy.
Yeah, me to the dominatrix. Piss.
Piss. Right here. Pee
What
here.
aren't you hearing?
I said piss, damn it.
Yeah, piss.
We should just have a little like 5 minutes here where we say ridiculous shit so that Jeremy can clip it, and it's like, even if you hear it in context, it made absolutely no sense. And that's when I was like, bitch, try me one more time. That's a pretty good one to clip.
I'm gonna lay under this glass table, you whore, and you're gonna spread those cheeks. I didn't feed you all those beans for nothing. Let's go. Show me that gape.
Piss, I say. Piss. Come with the piss. Make with the piss already.
Yeah. You've had my balls in this clamp for an hour and a half. Give me some pee.
I've earned this urine.
There's some sickos out there listening to this right now being like, my culture is...
Yeah. If you can just go for another 20 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Red Sox
There was
lose... What? 8-4.
No, we were still talking the win, believe it or not. But there was a stat they dropped after Chapman's performance today. It's him and Eck for amount of saves and Ks all time. There's no one else on that list. And that stood out to me because Eck started for a decent bit, didn't he?
He sure did.
Yeah, Chapman started like at the very beginning of his career. That didn't last super long. But it was like however many saves, 250, 300, and 1,200 Ks. Like Rivera didn't do it. No one else has done it other than Eck and Aroldis Chapman. That was crazy to me.
I mean, those are two guys that I don't know that they're a whole lot alike, but
did you know that Aroldis is his middle name? I didn't know that.
What's his first name? Darren?
Alberton?
Alberton. Yeah.
Alberton Chapman, Red Sox closer.
Did I tell you, or did I say this on the show about him asking about me?
In what sense? Asking about you how so? Workout routine or?
Bring him to me.
This was...
is that the piss man?
This was on Friday. And
Albertine. Just want to make sure I got that right.
I don't know who the gentleman is, but there is a Spanish-speaking individual who I first noticed, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. Like, he's been around, but anytime that I go to the games, he's in there early, but he doesn't have like a press pass, so he can't go on the field, but he's in before like you can get in with a ticket. So he's somebody, but he's not media. Sure. He's always down by the dugout. And I've noticed him many times before this. And I was in the dugout and Chapman was talking to him. And I've never obviously interacted with Chapman, but Chapman goes down the stairs after whatever, talking to this guy for like 10 minutes or so. And then he like whistles at me and calls me over. And I was like, I know we've been around each other a lot, but I don't think we've ever like said hi before. So I don't know that he's like calling me over to be like, hey, what's up? Like I would have remembered meeting him. And so like, what's going on? And he's like, you know Chapman at all? I was like, no, not really. I was like, I mean, I know who he is. I was like, I've never met him, but I was like around him a little bit at Pedro's charity event in 23, I think it was. I was like, but we've never met. And he was asking about you. And I was like, what does that mean? And he's like, is that the Nesson guy? And I was like, tell him yes.
That's a super fan?
Like, tell him yes. Because
SOS El Superfan?
Stone Superfan?
I was like, if he asks you, is that the Barstool guy? Please say no. Let him think that those are two entirely different people. Yeah. I was like, because that video of him blowing the save in 2019, I was like, that video did millies. So he's probably seen it, probably familiar, but that was also like a different. I was like, that was a different look for me, so I feel like I can get away with it. So I was like, yeah, like if he El Superfan, see.
No, when I think of Jared, I'm like, that's the Nesson guy. That's who he is.
That's the super fan.
That's the
Yeah.
super fan.
Yeah. That's
I don't think it's
absolutely-
impossible that he has never seen that video.
I mean, that
You guys are on
video,
very different internets.
Yeah, I don't know if he's seen it. I
Yeah,
would actually
but,
lean
like,
that he hasn't.
it was everywhere. Like Bill Burr
doubt.
was talking
Not
about that
saying
on
it
his
wasn't.
podcast.
I don't think Bill Burr and Aroldis Chapman are in the same internet
No.
either. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
but I
don't-
think my internet might be different than Aroldis Chapman's internet, but people like send the player
Sure.
stuff.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, but hey, remember the time you gave up that season-losing home run? Yeah, watch this. Like, I don't know.
Yo,
if
this
people
is
are sending him
hilarious.
that.
Check this out. I just saw a funny video.
I don't know, man. I either way, I don't care. Like, I don't think that
Sox lost
we're
today.
not going to be friends or anything like that. But
No.
it
He
is
is a
funny.
big
that-
motherfucker, though.
massive.
Huge.
He's
He is a ginormous human being.
Huge. When he walked by on
Um,
Friday, I was like, that might be one of the biggest people I've ever seen.
It would be great if he gave me the nickname El Superfan, though. I would be
El Superfan.
El Superfan. Yeah.
Oh,
That's him.
CC, El Superfan. Albertine Aroldis Chapman de la Cruz. That's his full name.
What?
Mm-hmm.
His last name is De La Cruz?
It gets a little dicey with some of these names. I don't know if that means that's his like last name, but he's basically got. Like,
Sadon's got 14 names. Bayo is like Bryant. Like that.
Yeah, I did know
This
that.
isn't that uncommon. David Ortiz is not David Ortiz. I don't want to drop that bomb on too many people's heads.
yeah, there's probably a lot of
David
people that
Arias?
don't know that actually.
Yeah, David Americo Arias.
Yeah.
He was Arias when he beat A-Rod in that
Home
home
run
run derby, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Yep.
What a series.
I feel like even in like the loss, we hit on all the points that we need to hit on. Like Willier,
Yeah, we kind of
we
started
led
with the
with it.
loss. I think.
robbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wong, useless. Romy, stupid.
That's just isn't that just this team with T? Wong, useless. Romy, stupid. Rookies will be rookies. They do dumb things.
Mhm.
Weissert, tired.
Weissert, gassed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the one thing, I mean, we said it on Time in the Eighth, but Steve, what does Dick Fitz have to do to just have a normal one? Just once in his
Oh my
life. Can this guy
God.
just have a normal start?
It's crazy. Saw him outside of Fenway in passing on Friday. Just gave him a fist bump because I feel like everyone says I look like him. Like, Dick Fitz, what's up, brother? And it did hit me when he was walking by. He kind of seemed a little bit sad, which is odd just because I think, what happened on... No, that actually makes sense. That game on Friday was terrible. That was like the worst game of the year. But I see Dick Fitz and it's just like, can this guy catch a break with anything? Like, it just doesn't seem like he's ever going to win a game here, even though he hasn't been that bad. What's his ERA? It can't be
it's
terrible.
like 4 or 5, 450.
It ballooned a little bit when he came back from.
He had the
Yeah.
dog shit start that wasn't his fault, so he's
It was
probably
supposed to be
So
a
close
his,
to
rehab
his
like
high
3.
lows like mid threes probably. So
Big time.
That's,
He
maybe
maybe lower,
lower.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he's got, where's he at this point? 11 starts, and he's 0-4. That's it. He doesn't deserve that. He's got a
No,
career
he doesn't.
333. Like, he's a good pitcher. We got to win a game for this guy.
Yeah.
They just don't care.
I can't remember
And-
if someone already made the point about Cutter. And this is not an attack on Walker Buehler, but where would the Red Sox be if Cutter was making some of those starts?
Playoff position,
Better.
probably.
Yeah, but
Better is 100%. But yeah, I think they'd probably be in a playoff spot right now.
Like the difference of 3 games, is that fair?
Yeah. And that's a playoff
Minimum.
spot.
That's a playoff spot. Yeah, they came into today, I think, what, 2-0?
2.5, yeah.
yeah, they were 2.5 when we sat down to talk.
Not that our season should hang in the balance of Cutter Crawford, but could have made a difference.
You
Could've
can, I
made a
mean, if you don't even have to pick on Walker. If he had been healthy and Houck had been hurt, it's just, I think it's the same thing.
Mm. What's the update
Drizzle it,
on Houck?
huh?
Yeah, woo!
This is going to be the weirdest catch-up in quite some time. I'm happy it's back, but not like this.
I don't think he's pitched since we last spoke. And then the last time we spoke, it wasn't good. Kyle Harrison pitched.
Also not good, right?
Not ideal, but not like the worst either. Got some swing and miss on, I believe it was the cutter. I know Ian Kundle posted about it, and I know that's a new pitch for him. So I believe he had the most swing and miss. I believe it was 12 total, 5 with the cutter, if I'm remembering correctly. So some positives. And again, like we've said before, we know he's working on specific things. He's trying to reinvent his pitch mix. So, like, he gave up 2 home runs today. Do I love that anytime anyone does it? No. Do I think it means that's exactly what he's going to do when he's up here? No. Should he have pitched tonight? Yeah.
Who the fuck? What am I blanking? Oh, Bayo pitched today, which was weird. That's gonna piss me off. They were talking about that on the broadcast about how like
relief appearance.
Yeah, like it doesn't count as a start when it should have. But I mean, it was only 5 innings, right? So it's not even his stretch of being the quality start streak is not relevant.
Sure, he went 5 with 2 and was fine. Like his ERA's 3.42, and someone said since the Miami start last year, it's even lower than that. It's like a 3.2 over 170 innings now. Like I feel like people are still waiting for Bayo to revert and be bad again. There just really isn't a lot of evidence that that's coming.
Not the Bayo boys.
Yeah, the Bayo boys are obviously been on him and still very excited for what's to come.
Yep,
we're not expecting.
It's only
going to
get better from here.
Yeah, of course.
It probably will. I mean, Sixes has been rolling.
I don't know why you're saying it like we don't believe that.
Yeah,
I wasn't. I was saying it just as a matter of fact.
Yeah, no, the Bayo boys, Ben had known that he was going to do this. You haven't even seen his peak yet in my IMO.
Probably not.
Anyways, I don't want to do the voting music.
It's Willier.
Steve?
Yeah, it's Willier. Yeah, Willier Abreu.
Yeah, it's I have Willier Abreu for this.
Packet for Wong.
Packet for Loomer for that catch.
Yeah, good catch by Loomer.
Yeah, I thought he looked dapper as fuck too. Like Jemai obviously stole the show. I thought Lou looked very dapper.
Lou was looking good. Everybody was looking good. Good outfits. Packet for the entire Red Sox lineup in Game 1. They all got a hit. That was really cool.
All right.
Packet
now
for
we're
Bayo.
getting a little Packet happy, I think.
And that's it. Packet for Chapman. That's it.
Packet for Jemai. Packet for Loomer.
Packet for my pal Jaron for alerting the fellas about the pitch tipping.
Packet for Jaron for that.
Your boy.
Packet for
he's a Duran dude, Coley.
Yep.
Double D.
Packet for Bayo. Packet.
Chris Murphy gets a packet for sure.
Yeah, he looked good today.
Big time.
Wasn't his fault.
No. He looked good too. I think he's lost some weight. He looks really good.
Yeah, he was fat before.
Yeah, he was a whale.
Yeah. Anyways, here's Hogdale.
Packet for the Fenway Dimensions.
I'm really down on the catch up right now. This is a 2-minute clip. I'm playing it. I'm playing the last 30 seconds wherever wherever. I mean,
yeah, that's fair.
It's very hard to fully catch up.
I know. Let's get this guy the award he deserves. Let's just get it to him.
It's the ball. It just goes 12 million feet into the stands, like without fail. He's a pure joy to watch, and hopefully he won't be trade bait. Because I'd like to keep him here for a long, long time. So yep, gentlemen, my Cards Catch-Up Series MVP vote goes to Willier Abreu. And before I go, happy belated birthday to one Jake Yazzie.
Oh,
my apologies for not
Jake.
sending you a birthday message on Twitter. I'm an idiot. So yep, happy birthday, Jake. Y'all have a great one. Goodbye.
Thank you, Hogdale. Yeah, it was Jake's birthday. Did you text him, Steve?
I did text him. Yep.
Did you tweet about him?
This is going to be the same thing as the Tyler thing. I did the retweet of OOC. There was a really good video of Jake knocking down
so
Tyler in the tank.
You retweeted.
We're getting not this again. Not this again.
You retweeted someone else's birthday wish?
Essentially, yeah. Who else has a vote? We got some votes to get to.
Jake.
I
know that they can't hear you on the show.
I texted him early too.
I can relay your message. Did you feel like if Steve just retweets someone else's birthday message, did you notice that Steve did that? And B, if you had noticed the birthday retweet, does it really hit the same as like a birthday tweet? Yeah, feels a little better if it's coming from the original account. I agree. I mean, I think that's crazy. I would never just like retweet someone else's happy birthday to someone and be like, I said happy birthday. So, well, next year, Steve, you can do it. You can, yeah.
It was a text. It was an early text. I might have been the first one to text him, and then it was a retweet.
Yeah. Anyways, the rest of the panel, TC. So before the game went to shit, TC was going to shout out Clark's ketchup on the post game, and then he was like, "I can't do it now." Like, yeah. So we really got boned there. He said Abreu all day, and this was after the second game. This was after the second game. So I said uno más, and he said, "Don't care what happens tonight. He's clinched it, but I'll reconfirm later anyway." And then when he hit the home run, I said, "That's because you believed in him." And he said, "Consider this confirmation. Will your goddamn Abreu, Red Sox home run leader, words you never expected to say, going to give Clark's a shout out on the post game?" And I said, "I'm going to make sure I'm rolling for that." And then he said, "Don't bother rolling. There will be no joking tonight." And I said, "Yeah, this is embarrassing."
Don't record it. Don't waste your time.
Yeah. He said Christmas is canceled. Better luck next year.
Yeah. Will Middlebrooks, Willier for ketchup. And I said, it's going to be a solemn ketchup. And he said, but a ketchup nonetheless. I like that attitude, Will. I like that a lot. Loomer said, Willier. And I said, to the bank. And he said, this was also before the game went to shit. This was at 8:38. He said, Willier. And I said, to the bank. And he said, easiest of the year. There was an argument for Story before that. And I said, TC punched in Willier after game 2. So that's probably the first time multiple votes came in at the end, before the end of the third game. Then we have OB, who said, I'll go Abreu. Should have swept. Jamai, who got a ketchup packet in the series. I said, it's going to be a depressing vote. He said, I know. Tough indeed, but my vote goes to Willier Abreu. I believe that brings us to Will motherfucking Fleming. Let me pull this up right here. We have Jamai, we have Will, we have OB, we have TC, we have Hogdale, we have Loomer. Yep, here we go. Oh, and Tyler Milliken, who we haven't really. I don't know what he's on vacation. He said.
I think he said he's on vacation. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like, he doesn't go on vacation.
Yeah, I was kind of thrown off guard by seeing that because Tyler doesn't go anywhere. He just stays at his place and watches the Red Sox and tweets about them all day.
Yeah, I mean, I was very surprised by that. Good for him. He should be on vacation.
He's at a comedy show. I don't even think he was watching the game.
Wow.
Crazy.
See, that I could never do.
It was like that Nicki Minaj night that he had.
I don't think I've ever been able to do that.
It's tough.
Anyways, here's Will motherfucking Fleming.
What the fuck is up, fellas? Man alive. I'm down in D.C. Beat the team here by a couple days. Down with mom and the kids. We're cannonballing into the pool. We're wiffle balling our asses off in the backyard. And I got to ride this roller coaster with the fans the last couple days. And what a fucking team this is. I mean, the minute you're ready to set free, have hope, have happiness, have an easy night, that's just not the way this group is right now. I thought we'd be coming on here and having the most happy, celebratory, a party we've ever had. But that's just not the way this team is. That's not the way this season is. I'm going to choose to be a little bit glass half full. Bayo is really good today. Obviously, Willier, excellent. Willier. Again, Tyler, by the way, he said his own name to me 7 different times. It's not for lack of trying or focus or understanding. The guy changes his mind all the time. However, Willier had a huge weekend. And the Red Sox... it's hard to not be mostly positive about what came out of this series with the Cincinnati Reds. You got the Nats coming up, then the Rockies. It's time to go on a run. But my God, is it frustrating that they can't just do the simple things, field a ground ball, make an easy base running decision. We all know my homie is my homie. That's the worst base running play of the entire season. It changes so many things, and everything sort of spirals from there. I don't know what was going on with the bullpen, and Weissert is obviously ready for the All-Star break more than anybody on this team. He was a horse for this team. It's time to manage him, I think, a little bit differently. The Red Sox take 2 or 3. That's a great thing. Come to D.C., 4th of July, fireworks. We start at 11 a.m. on Friday. Let's see if we can party a little bit. Man alive, were we all hoping for something more exciting, easier, more fun. Hey, that's this season. See what can happen this weekend. It's obvious. It's clear. It's still fun. The Clark's Ketchup Series MVP is Willier motherfucking Abreu.
How many is this for Willier, Steve?
That is 2 on the season for Weissert Abreu. He is now only behind Trevor Story with 3. He joins Alex Bregman and the 2-time Clark's Ketchup MVP club.
Does anyone have 3?
Yeah, Trevor Story.
Well, there you go. Weissert Abreu. I wish it could have been a clean sweep because he would have had an impact in all 3 games. And he deserved that. He truly did.
I mean, he did have an impact in all 3 games. That still happened.
He did.
He definitely did.
He definitely had an impact in all 3 games, but they did not win all 3 games. That sucks because they should have. They should have. Either way, this next series, very optimistic. I think we can kind of turn the page real quickly here and focus on the next team, who is not a good team. They're not a good team. So, but before that, what was I going to say? Oh, before we get into the Stop and Shop look ahead and the Billy's Gummy Bears weather look ahead, the report about Alex Bregman and what was it, Jim Bowden today saying, "Oh, don't be surprised if the Red Sox trade Bregman." I would be very, very, very surprised if that happened. Yeah. Because especially with the injury now, is there a chance that Bregman just opts in? Because can you do better than $40 million next year after sitting on the sidelines for a month and a half, 2 months?
I mean, you had Bregman and Boris coming out being like, we'd love to re-sign, which makes me feel like I believe them I believe him that he likes it here and wants to keep playing here. It also seems like people who remember how last offseason went and they don't want to do that again because it wasn't fun. But I think if they are going to talk extension, the next 2 years are kind of already agreed upon. It's like, yeah, 280 is the start, and then you build from there.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, he's not going to opt out to not make $80 million over the next 2.
Correct.
So I think it's a conversation where there's going to have to be a lot of trust. You go ahead and opt out. Like, we'll give you the years. But if you opt out, yeah, sure. We'll give you the 40 a year over the next 2.
He doesn't have to opt out for that.
Well, because they're not guaranteed. He'd have to opt in.
Well, they could just extend him, and that, like, he could just say, like, yeah, I'm just going to opt in the next 2 years, which I'm sure the Red Sox would prefer.
Can you opt in early?
I think he could opt into next year now. I don't know if he could pick up the year after, but what I'm saying is, like,
you would have to rip up this contract and you would have to guarantee him that. So it would be a new deal. I
It
don't
would
think
be a new deal, but I'm saying you don't have to. He doesn't have to opt out for that. Is what I'm saying. Like they could do it in season.
Yeah. They can. Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying is, if I'm Alex Bregman, yeah, we've already agreed the next 2 years you're willing to pay me $80 million. Like you've already said that, and I control that, by the way. So we have to start there. And then I think the Red Sox probably don't want to go too long, but they also don't want the AAV to be too high. Bregman already did take some deferred money year one, and I assume that's written into the next 2 years already. So if he wants to keep that number around 25, which I believe is his tax number this year, even more the better. But I was trying to map it out in my head earlier today. If the next two are 80, and then you add like 4 for 100 on top of that, I imagine he would take 6 for 180.
Probably.
You'd think, right?
Yeah, because then that would have been 7 for 220 last winter.
Yeah.
Which is,
I would assume he'd take that.
Yeah, if that were the deal, it's almost like more digestible a year later. But like if that were the deal, 7/2/20 last year, I think everyone would have been like, whoa.
Right.
I still think there's been more discussion about this than there probably should be right now. Like
What do you
it's
mean?
early July. He still hasn't come back. I'm just saying the rest of the season's going to have to happen either way. Like I don't really think they're going to do this during the season, especially with him still
disagree.
on the IL.
I disagree.
I don't think it's going to happen during the season. I honestly think that he's going to come back, play this year out, and then we'll have discussions in the offseason.
I don't think Bregman and Boris are talking like that if they're not the ones who want it to happen.
Correct.
Yeah, but I still think that this came up because the Red Sox were in Anaheim, and that's where Boris is. And this is,
But he didn't
I don't
have to
know.
say that. He's always
Yeah,
there.
Bregman didn't have to say that either.
Right.
No, I know, but when you're going to get asked about that, of course you're going to. I think it's an easy answer to be like, "Yeah, I would like to stay here and sign an
Boris
extension."
historically does not give that answer, though. Like last year, he was asked about Juan Soto every week, and he was like, "He is for sure hitting free agency. He
Yeah.
can go into the highest."
Yeah,
bid."
because he
That
didn't
is
want to
not-
stay. I think Soto's goal was just to get the biggest price tag. I like that Bregman wants to stay here. That's a good thing. Like you would want him to have that connection after a couple of months, but I still feel like a huge part of all of this is what he's going to do in the next 2 months. So that's just the unknown part of it.
But
I
what the
don't
part of it that
think
doesn't
so.
line up, Craig's model, no matter what, is not going to be moved by whatever he does over these next 2 months. If anything, it would only hurt anything he would want to give him. Like he already didn't want to pay him in the first place, so it's not.
No, yeah, that's a separate discussion. Yeah, but I don't know.
For sure.
I think I would personally be surprised if in season they sign him to an extension. I would love it.
I'm not
I
saying
think
it's
that
the
would be
most
great.
likely scenario, but it's definitely not as unlikely as you're making it seem.
No, I don't think it's a 0% chance. I just don't think that slice of the pie is that big, honestly. Like we've talked about it a lot because there hasn't been that much other stuff to talk about. The team is
Put a
we
percentage.
kind of know
on
what
it.
this team is. Like we get
Put a
what this team
percentage
is.
on it.
In season,
Mm-hmm.
15, somewhere around there, like 20.
The Matt Chapman extension, because he was in a similar spot. He got a multi-year deal, but he could opt out after year one last year with the Giants. He is a Boris guy. I believe his was September 4th or 5th is when he agreed to an extension last year.
Yeah, and then obviously it depends where the Red Sox are at. I mean, if this season's over, I think there's going to be more pressure to lock this guy in, while he's
I think
under
that pressure
contract
is
before
already
any of the
there.
opt-out stuff. I think
Because
it
of
is,
the
but that
Devers
can
stuff.
grow. That pressure can grow big time.
Because of the Devers trade, you have pointed at Bregman and said, "This is the guy now. Like this is the guy that we're building our team around now." You can't be like, "All right, it's one and done." Like because then all the Devers shit was all for naught.
No, big time. I do like it at bare minimum how much Breggy wants to be here, and I think he's gone out of his way to let you know that he wants to stay here. So that's great. But let's just hope now that they don't overuse the leverage of the Raffy situation. But Boris is Boris, so I'm sure he'll squeeze as much out of that as physically possible.
When they
It's hard to
start talking like this, they're typically just looking for fair market deal in their eyes. So
or even just weighing like what are y'all willing to do? Let's at least start there. Let's see what a number is and try to go from there. But I still, from the Red Sox perspective, I would think they'd want to just see, in theory, Bregman's going to be the same when he comes back, but wouldn't you want to see that, especially with him under contract? Go.
I was listening to Pod on Lansdowne earlier, and I was thinking this point. They ended up saying the point later, but I did think it earlier. we've done this before, and it was a bad idea to not extend. The last AB third baseman we had, which was Adrian Beltre, who came here for 1 year, same age, and then went on to play for like another fucking decade, despite being like too old when he got to the Red Sox in the first place. I feel like at this point it would be a tremendous mistake to let this guy walk. Like, who? We talked about it after the Devers trade. It's like, who wants to willingly sign here? And this guy's like screaming like me.
I know.
want to be here forever. Just fucking pay that guy. It's kind of the Xander thing too. Like, these guys who want to be here and produce, I would just pay them. And like, yeah, the last 2 years of the deal might suck. Like that, worse things have happened.
No, that was, I mean, again, what I'm saying is not what I want. Like, I don't
Sure,
want them to
yeah.
go through the whole season. I just kind of think that that's the more probable outcome. But yeah, the second the Devers trade happened, I'm like, they better be ready to sign Breggy. Like, that better be the number one thing they've talked about even before trading Devers. I hope those conversations were happening pre-trade as part of the justification for making a move like that. Because if that's not happening, then that just further goes to the point of us thinking they don't have a plan. If you're not going to have that discussion before you send him to San Francisco. But no, he's a guy I would want here. I mean, obviously, we'd all want him here. And then, you know, the Jerry connection makes it even better. So he's a dude that could matter to this show a lot for the next couple of years.
It's crazy. He's like, I love this organization. And we're all like, this team fucking stinks. Like,
I know. We're telling him, like, what's there to love? Like, what are you seeing? What are you seeing that we aren't seeing, Alex? No, it's a valid point. The top point in all of this is like, cherish the guy that wants to be here, because that list of dudes is so slim.
Cherish it. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think that I think he wants to be here. I think the Red Sox have told us how important he is to what they have going on. I think the young players would all say, please keep him here. Like, he's teaching me how to be a big leaguer. We don't have guys that can do that outside of an Alex Bregman. Like, he's an important piece of what we have going on. Don't ruin this for us. There's just a lot of different ways that you could look at it. And for me, I think it would be a mistake. I think it would also be it would be a bad look if you had Alex Bregman here and he was so impactful with your young players after a few years of the young players saying, hey, like, there's no one here to talk baseball with. Like, all the criticism of, we learn how to become big leaguers we learn how to become big leaguers when we're in the minors. We don't learn how to win. And then you have a guy here who has consistently, throughout his entire career, won. You have that guy, and you're also not a premier destination anymore for free agents. Like, guys don't want to just fucking come here. Between the taxes and the shit show that the organization has been over the last 6 years, you don't have guys lining up to come here like in the early 2000s when you had players saying, I want to be part of that. No, now it's just, all right, here's my number. If you're somewhere near the highest bid, we can continue the conversation. If not, then thanks for your interest, Boston Red Sox. Like, you're basically just team XYZ at this point to a lot of these guys. So if you have this player who not only, like, we're talking intangibles and all that, which they are very important, when he went down was putting up top 5 MVP numbers in the American League.
For sure.
You have that guy after all the years of having bad defense, and you have someone come in and solidify the hot corner defensively, who, if you ever needed to, he could slot over to second base, as Alex Cora has said many times. Yeah, I see him as a Gold Glove second baseman. Like, I don't know. It just seems too good of a fit for it to be a one and done. And then again, as I've mentioned before, the whole situation with Rafi. You brought in Bregman. That brought the Devers situation to a head, which ultimately led to him being traded to the San Francisco Giants. It would be a terrible, terrible look if after all that, you didn't commit to Bregman beyond 1 year. The 1 year that caused the problem that led to Devers being traded a year and a half into the 10-year agreement.
trade it in a money dump too, like specifically for worse players, so you can get that money off the books theoretically to sign players like Alex Bregman.
Mm-hmm.
I would build the Craig statue myself if he was able to convince him, we're going to trade you, you're going to opt out, and we're going to sign you. That's where he gets the statue. I don't think he could pull that off though.
It'll be next level if he does that. Yeah, I'll help with the statue big time.
Yeah, that would be an all-time.
I get
move.
so excited, and I know I had tweeted this, but I get pumped when I see Marcelo and Roman very astutely paying attention to every single word that Breggy tells them. There's a difference between just kind of like chilling in the like Dick Fitz chills in the dugout, and he's like shooting the shit with Garrett Crochet. You look at Roman, you look at Marcelo, they are so locked in on every single word that Alex Bregman is telling them. And over the course of our fandom of this team, there's not a lot of guys that have done that. There's not a lot of guys that have wanted to do that, have been willing to do it, and have been built to do it, have been really good and had careers where it justifies, raising these prospects through the system and feeling like you're the guy that's supposed to be telling them all these tips and making sure that they grow at the rate that's going to help the club win. So I love every time I see it. I hope there's more of it. And obviously, kind of like Story in the last couple of years, it hits a lot different when that guy can then also be in the lineup and producing at a high level. So when Breggy comes back, it'll be a lot of fun to see those guys producing in the same lineup together.
I'm a little surprised he's not back yet, if we're being honest.
Well, he wants to be back right now.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I don't know. Like, what? I don't know. I'm just a little surprised he's not back yet. That's all.
That's all.
Just,
Makes you go,
Just, You know what I mean? Just, thought he'd be back by now. You know what I mean? You guys want to... oh my God, it's fucking 1 a.m., dude.
When I go to Stop and Shop, I can cross off everything that's on my list.
Tactical move incoming!
Stop and Shop. Look ahead. Stop and Shop.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
Look ahead.
Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and Shop, we look ahead. Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and Shop, we look ahead.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
What's better than having to Stop and Shop, getting it done for all of you?
Nothing, Poppy. There's nothing better than that. The Stop and Shop look ahead brought to you by Stop and Shop. Head on down to Stop and Shop right now. You get 10 cents off your tangerines when you buy at least 5 pounds of tangerines. Only at fucking Stop and Shop, brother. Like I said earlier, this should be a nice little series win for the Red Sox. I think at this point, it would be overzealous to ever pick them to sweep another Major League Baseball team ever again. But that being said, they should sweep the Nats. They won't, but they should. It is Lucas Giolito versus Mike Soroka. It is Walker Buehler versus Mitchell Parker, and Garrett Crochet versus Trevor Williams. Lucas Giolito, 4-1. I love Lucas Giolito. He's back, baby. He is big back. He's 4-1 with a 3.99 ERA, a 1.33 WHIP, and a 7.8 strikeouts per nine. He's got a 2.35 ERA over his last 7 starts, including the 7-run blow-up start. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Only 3 earned runs in the other 6 starts. His last 4 starts, 0.72 ERA, 16 hits, 2 earned runs, 24 strikeouts in 25 innings. He's much better against righties than lefties. Righties are hitting him at a 303 clip with a 788 OPS. Lefties 222. The fuck is wrong with me, dude? I've been podcasting for 15 hours. 229, 674 OPS. Slider was his best pitch in June. Hitters were 4 for 25, all singles. The Red Sox are 7-4 when he pitches, 5-1 over his last 6. Mike Soroka, great kid. He's probably a young man now, but I met him when he was a kid. 3-5, 4.70 ERA, a 103 whip, and a 9.7 strikeouts per nine. He does not allow a ton of base runners. He's got the 102 whip, as we just mentioned. Strikes out a lot of guys. 9.7. He has been slugged to death this season. Four seams given up a 6.15 slug so far this year. He's got a good slurve. Found his groove in June, 3.49 ERA, 36 innings and 28 and a third innings, 36 strikeouts and 28 and a third innings. The Nats are 3-8 when he pitches, and they've lost 4 straight. Keep in mind they're a bad team. That doesn't make him a bad pitcher. Walker Buehler, 5-6, a 6.45 ERA, a 1.58 whip, and a 7.9 strikeouts per nine. The walks have been very, very bad. 4.3 walks per nine, unacceptable for him. It's a full walk higher than his previous career worst, which was last season. 1.7 higher than his career average. He's walked 14 batters over his last 11 and a third innings. He has only recorded an out in the 5th inning once over his past 5 starts. Has only allowed less than 4 earned runs once in his last 6 starts. Stopped giving up homers. He's allowed 1 in 7 straight starts. 3 of them have been 2 home run starts, so 10 total. Red Sox are 7-7 when he starts, and they've lost 6 of 7. Mitchell Parker will be opposing him. 5-8, a 4.63 ERA, a 1.35 whip, 6.1 strikeouts per nine. Got off to a strong start this year in 5 starts. 32 and a third innings, 5 earned, 1 home run, 20 Ks, 1.39 ERA. Since then, the past 12 starts, he's been fucking awful. 59 innings, 42 earned runs, 10 bombs, a 6.41 ERA. He's a lefty. He's actually worse against lefties. Nats are 9-8 in games that he starts, but they're 2-5 in the last 7. In the finale, Garrett Crochet, 8-4. 2.34 ERA, 104 whip, and an 11.2 strikeouts per nine. For just the 3rd time this year, he allowed more than 2 earned runs in a start. He is 2-1 in those starts. Even when he's off, he's still better than most. He had a 2.03 ERA in May. The Red Sox were 1-4. He had a 2.68 ERA in June, and the Red Sox were 5-1. So maybe he needs to be slightly worse for the Red Sox to be better. Crochet has been a little vulnerable on the 4-seam the past 2 months. 6.92 slug in May, 4.67 slug in June. 7 of his 10 home runs allowed have been on the 4-seamer. But it's great to have Garrett Crochet. Trevor Williams, 3-10, a 6.21 ERA. What a mismatch. A 1.54 whip and a 7.1 strikeouts per nine. He has allowed 119 base runners in just 79 and 2/3 innings, but he's been better recently. He has a 5.55 ERA in June. Lefties have 7 of the 9 home runs allowed this year and a 992 OPS against. Righties, just a 538 OPS. A lefty-only lineup would be hilarious against him. Actually, Masataka Yoshida, what if he was back with the Sox on Friday?
Bet he is, dude.
What if he's there on Friday? The Nats are 6-10 when he starts and went 1-4 in June. Again, that is Lucas Giolito versus Mike Soroka, Walker Buehler versus Mitchell Parker, and Garrett Crochet versus Trevor Williams. Prediction time, Steve All.
Yes. Nationals have the 4th worst record in baseball. They're 36-50. They suck. James Wood, though, very good. 5th highest OPS in the game at 934. Really cool moment with him getting walked 4 times intentionally. That's got to be awesome as a player that young to have that happen. I'm excited for a Lucas Giolito start. It's great that we've gotten to this point. I never thought I would have said that, especially this season with how it started, but looking forward to that on the 4th. Going to be in the building with the fam for that one. Some people have already reached out. You guys are great. Say what's up. Let's talk Sox. Let's talk Section 10. Let's do all that fun stuff. I feel like, Jared, it's a guarantee. I'm not going to put an SPG on it, but I'm so close to doing it that it's almost an SPG that there is going to be a rubber match in this game. This series has rubber match kind of written all over it with who we have starting in game 2. But yeah, the fact that that's going to be Garrett Crochet on the mound coming off of a performance that he was not excited about, even though he got his first Fenway win. I am excited that he's going to be the dude on the bump on Sunday. And I think because of that, the Red Sox win 2 out of 3. Really locked in on the next 3 series. Nationals, Rockies, Rays. Those are the 3 teams you play until the All-Star break. Red Sox currently, I think, right around 3 games out of a wild card spot. No excuse to not be right in that 1 game back, 2 game back range by the break. I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make because they've been in that same spot seemingly each of the last 3 years. But to keep us entertained, stay in the playoff race, at least until the break, and then we'll see what happens at the deadline. Red Sox won 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 is the pick from Steven. What say you, Coley Mick?
So the Nats had a horrific 11-game losing streak in June, and they followed that up by going 6-6 over their last 12 against real teams. They're playing better baseball than you are right now over that same sample size. Obviously, the Red Sox 3-7 over the last 10. Can't imagine those previous 2, unless that was the Yankees series, was a lot better. So at best case, you're 1 game behind their pace over that 12. Obviously, we miss Mackenzie Gore. I don't think that benefits us. We do better against those types of pitchers, that caliber of pitcher this season. I don't expect the Red Sox to win this series. Like last year, when things were going better, we went to Colorado and got our dick stomped by a worse team than this Nats team. What the horrible things, James? if we allow Walker Buehler to pitch to James Wood,
oof,
I can't imagine a worse decision. Like Giolito, I'm worried for. Like I don't know that him sitting 93 at the top of the zone, that's the guy you want to do that to. Though that might be enough in those games.
Jeez.
And then Crochet will win. So I'm gonna go 1-2 for the Boston Red Sox.
James Wood was intentionally walked 4 times the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Red Sox have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be the play.
Every time.
Especially with Buehler, would any Red Sox fan complain if Buehler just walked him anytime he faced him? I don't think so. Yeah, do the Garrett Cole. Bang.
Yeah.
Or this way.
Honestly, though, like I feel like Walker would just walk him without trying to do it on purpose.
Yeah, I think he's gonna walk him the old-fashioned way. 4 balls out of the zone, and they were not intentional.
Yeah. Jake, I know that they can't hear you, but what do you got for the series? Should be a quick sweep for the Sox, he says. All right, so if Jake's feeling confident enough to go sweep, I feel like I got to go.
If you go reverse, we'll have everything covered.
Someone will win.
Someone will be correct.
Someone
if you
will
go
be
reverse.
100% correct. Yeah, those are all the options.
Yeah.
This is such an easy sweep that they're going to get swept.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. This has sweep written all over it. Actually, you know what? They are going to get swept. So, Lucas Giolito.
It's a fact. It's been stated.
Yeah,
It's
happen. So the 4th of July game is an 11 a.m. game. I remember Lucas Giolito was at like the top of his game with the White Sox. He pitched the Marathon Monday game, the 11 a.m. game. He got fucking tits lit. Yeah.
Right.
So that's a loss. Walker Buehler, that's a loss. And then the mismatch of Garrett Crochet and Trevor Williams, it's almost like it's too obvious of a win. So that is a loss.
Crochet's due to catch a loss, too.
Also true.
Oh,
yeah, we're getting swept, brother. Buckle up.
I think it's super on the table.
Yep. Getting swept.
They're better than you are right now. Like that, as bad as they are.
Oh, yeah.
Recently, they're better than you.
One of the best.
We're facing one of the best teams in the game here.
Yep. If you want to go to the game this weekend and see Steven, right?
Yep, Friday.
Game Time makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer that it gets to the first pitch. They have killer last minute deals, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. I actually just used the Game Time app a couple days ago because I surprised the girls with Zach Bryan tickets. But the only fucking caveat is he is not playing at Gillette. He's playing in fucking New Jersey. So we have to drive all the way to New Jersey to go see Zach Bryan. Pumped.
Is he like banned from Massachusetts?
I can't imagine that that's the case.
You never know.
Save up to 60% off buying last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Save even more when you choose a section and you let Game Time choose the seats for you. Know your total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy your tickets. The lowest price guarantee or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10, SECTION10 for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Yeah, I put like names in a hat, but it all said like Zach Bryan concert in New Jersey. And I like had them, like I like jumbled them up and I was like, all right, we're going on 2 vacations this summer. You guys can pick where we go. This is 10 different locations that me and Train approved, and you guys can pick randomly, and then those will be the places that we go. And then they both picked out the Zach Bryan concert and shrieked. They shrieked. I don't remember like what would have given me that reaction as a child. Probably WrestleMania. Like same for you, Steve?
Oh, same. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like if I was 12 and my parents surprised me with tickets to something, it would be like, you're sitting front row at fucking the Royal Rumble. And I would have been like, ah!
Oh my God.
But, yeah. But
I
got the
a
tickets
quick
on
fun
Game
fact,
Time.
Jared.
Yeah.
The Nationals have only swept one team all season. That is the
Well, it's
Baltimore
about to be
Orioles,
2.
a month and a half ago.
Another AL East team on the list.
Yeah, true. They're just targeting AL East teams. I could see it.
When I look ahead, and you wind up dead if you don't listen to what Steve says. Even then, you might still wind up dead. Caught in a tornado, get smoked by your neighbor shed. When I look ahead, when I look ahead, Billy's gummy bears. Chew 'em with your mouth.
Weather look ahead. Brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears.
You chew them with your mouth.
You chew them with your damn mouth. The Red Sox head to our nation's capital, which is in Washington, D.C. That's where the White House is, Jared. And there's a bunch of monuments and some museums.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton lives there. Absolutely. That's his place, his spot.
Yep.
Game 1, Friday. Jared, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be at the game. Happy July 4th to everybody. I'm definitely going to be in the building. Happy 4th of July to both you guys, everybody listening. Jake, happy birthday and happy 4th to you.
Happy birthday, Jake.
11:05 a.m. first pitch. If you guys didn't know, that's the same time as the marathon game. That's the same first pitch time. So I just wanted to give you that news that you didn't know. Oh, you're not going to love this. 77 degrees. I know.
Motherfucker.
I know.
Yeah.
That is. What's your reaction to that?
Motherfucker.
I'm going to give you an update, by the way, just on the off chance. Nah, it's still 77. I was hoping it went down 1. It's still 77.
Motherfucker, dude. You know?
Sunny, 0% chance of rain, 12-mile-an-hour winds. It will get
that's
up
a little
to...
bold, don't you think, Steve?
What?
0%?
Yeah, it's not going to rain. Not going to rain.
I'm not saying it's gonna rain, Steve. I'm just saying like a little crazy to say 0%. I always think that there has to be a % chance that it rains, right?
0% chance of rain for game 1.
Bad karma.
12-mile-an-hour winds.
Bad karma. Have you learned nothing after the last Little
After I
stunt you
nailed the
pulled
weather
on
report
Tuesday.
last time, I
Yeah.
completely crushed that one. Game
Well-
2. Saturday, Jared, 4:05 p.m. Eastern, first pitch, 84 degrees.
No.
Mostly cloudy for that one. Jerry, you're going to love this. 0% chance of rain. No. This is garbage. See,
What
for
do
the
you mean?
last one, this is trash. What you're doing
Why?
right now is 100% trash.
What
For the
did I
last
do?
one, at least there was a
Hands
monsoon
up.
in game 2. There's no rain. This is
I'm not
false
doing anything. My
advertising.
hands are up. My
Yeah,
hands
you
are up.
already pushed the button. Now it's
you
going to
got
be
me.
on the rest of
It
this.
was me. It was me. No, it was me.
I completely got you. I knew it was you. This is garbage. Don't listen to the sound effects, folks. It's not going to rain in this series. Thank you for turning it off. 0% chance of rain in game 2, 10-mile-an-hour winds. Game 3, Sunday, 1:35 p.m. Eastern, 90 degrees in
Ooh.
D.C. Mostly sunny.
That's a
Is
fire,
that
you
fire?
fucking idiot. Yeah.
So it's just it will be on fire. All right, that one's good. It sounded initially like it was rain on top of a roof or something. That is fire. Reminds me of the game we went to, Jared, when we were really happy at the 2018 July 4th game. It was very hot. 90 degrees, mostly sunny.
don't even get me started on
I won't
that.
get you started on it. 0% chance of rain, 14-mile-an-hour winds. It is going to be a hot series in D.C. with no chance of rain, and that is a Stevie P guarantee. That is no.
right.
That is your weather look ahead, brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears. You chew them with your mouth. No rain this weekend, Jared. No rain.
Okay, fine. It's not going to rain. You know what it is? It's going to be raining freedom. Let freedom reign
Yes.
because of the
You're
4th of July
100%
and
right.
it's DC.
I guarantee that that's going to happen. Freedom will rain down on everyone there.
That's what I meant by that.
Mm-hmm. Of course, I should have put the two together. Stupid.
Yeah, let freedom reign.
So stupid.
Yeah, stupid. I have a final thought today. The conversations around a Section 10 cruise are getting intimate.
Intimate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a, I would say, strong interest on both sides right now.
It's a good month to be saying that, by the way. We're going to get a lot of those tweets soon. Strong interest, mutual interest, industry sources saying.
Industry sources are saying that a Section 10 cruise could be very on the table in the summer months.
Can you use a word like, when those reports come in where there's like a specific word that jumps out and that's what everyone uses in the headline of the article? Can you use one of those words? Okay, again?
Titillating?
But can you use it in like a sentence, please?
Piss.
Piss on me.
There's a piss on me chance that there's going to be a Section 10 cruise.
The conversations taking place between the Section 10 podcast and a potential cruise facilitator are reaching a titillating peak.
That's
in
incredible.
recent
Okay.
days.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's going to be great.
I mean, if we can pull this off, of all the things that I didn't think we'd be doing when we started in Pete's mom's basement, this would be like probably a top 3, top 5.
I mean, if you pull this off, if we pull this off, but if you pull this off with your titillating conversations, this could be the moment of the year, and it could be an all-time Section 10 moment.
It could be an all-time Section 10 moment, especially, getting the picture of T doing like the Titanic pose on the bow.
There's no chance he stays on the boat. It's not 100% chance that he survives this.
No. The odds are likely that he doesn't stay on the boat. There's also titillating conversations regarding Section 10 Night 2 at Fenway.
Can we get a different word for those convos?
There are that they are sexually flirtatious in nature.
Okay.
Between the Section 10 podcast and the Boston Red Sox regarding Section 10 Night 2 at Fenway Park this year. And then, of course, the first round of the new merch venture that we have taken on. New vendor, solo operation. It's totally in-house with all of us. And that is, we're gearing up for that first drop.
What are those conversations like?
Those are more, I guess, flaccid.
Yeah.
Flaccid in the sense where it's like, there's nothing happening right now, but boy, could we become erect if we needed to.
It could become sexually flirtatious in nature.
In nature, like quickly. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Like we're ready to go.
Hmm.
It's just not firing right this second.
Yeah. The blood is on standby. It is at the doors, just awaiting the orders to rush forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's right. That's right. A lot of exciting things on the horizon. That's my final thought. The McMahon, final thought from you?
Yeah, I mean, my final thought is I think everyone's final thought. Why is there so much ice cream based merchandise?
Oh, there we go.
What's going on?
Is that it? That's the final thought. It's a question.
They had to. Well, they had to. Like at this point, I think they're doing it on purpose.
Oh, big time. Yeah. I mean,
Do
when
you
I
think
saw that, I got
created
very
a
excited.
second one because of this.
Yeah, I do. I don't think there was a second ice cream hat. I don't think there was someone at 47 brand looking like George Bush and then another guy looking like his main aide being like, sir, his second ice cream hat has hit the shelves. I don't think that was always the plan. I think this was like, oh man, north of 13 calls were made about the first ice cream hat. We need a second hat in production pronto.
Do you genuinely think, like, without the ice cream helmet hat, what's the word here? We're using a lot of big words tonight.
Titillation?
The
Jubilee?
titillation. Do you think that because of the sexually flirtatious in nature discussions that we've had about this hat, without
For me,
that,
they have not been sexually flirtatious in nature.
the
at all.
non-arousing discussions that we've had about this hat, do you think that caused them to have a second hat?
Listen, I've been buying hats my whole life at this point. I've never seen one with an ice cream helmet on it, and then we got a second months after. It just doesn't add up.
I mean, if that's
We
the
didn't
case,
need
I
the
feel like
first
I'm
one,
owed
is
some
the
of the
problem.
money here. No, we did. This is an incredible hat. We've discussed it.
No.
We've agreed on it. First class
No.
hat. The fact
It's a
that they
bad
have
hat.
another one, I don't disagree with you, Coley. And I don't want. Do you have any more in the final thought? Because I have the same final thought.
No, I figured this is where we're all headed, so I just wanted to get to it.
Yeah, you just got to the finish line here. I agree with you. I think this one, I'm not going to say it's better because these don't really fit my hat well. This would be a good Mike Eamond hat. I feel like he
Sure.
wears these and they fit his head well. My head's too big, so I kind of need the floppies. That's why it's multiple reasons why I love this hat, because it's like navy blue. I like the darker colors. This is the exact ice cream helmet that I got growing up. It was a chocolate vanilla swirl, so that's a little bit different. But when this one dropped, and Coley, you texted me, that was the first I saw of it. It's going for like a wintry vibe because there's like snow on top of the Red Sox, which I thought was
Sure.
interesting. I don't necessarily.
I think it's supposed to be like an ice cream truck, like a Mr. Frosty. Like, I think
Okay,
it's supposed to be that kinda.
I can see that. I can see that. And then you got the fresh from Boston. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can't disagree, honestly. It's a little
A
absurd
bad hat,
to have.
you think?
No. I just think it's
Oh.
a little bit crazy to have multiple of these, but I fully support it because it's a great thing to have on a hat.
So you like the hat?
Yeah, not as much as this one, though. I like the navy one better.
You like the
'Cause it's-
design, not the style of hat.
better or worse with the second one?
Just in general, you just like the design, but not the type of hat that the design is on.
I'm going to go design and type of hat to the first one.
Sure.
But again, this is like a selfish thing because it's a cleanup 47 hat, so they fit my head right. And I just like the simplicity of just boom, ice cream and an ice cream helmet. Nothing crazy. On this one, it's like Red Sox and then the helmet. There's multiple things going on here. I think it's a little bit much, but I'm never going to not support an ice cream helmet hat. And Jared, now I toss it to you because you have a thought on this, and I think I know where you're going.
What do you think? What do you think I'm going to say about that?
All right. This is what you're going to say, all right? This is a stupid fucking hat. And Steve, no, shut up, Steve. Shut up, Steve. This hat is so fucking dumb. And even if all you little people are like, oh, Steve, like really cool hat, those people suck too. And they're wrong too. It's a dumb hat. If you think the hat's good, you're dumb. Everything's dumb. Red Sox basically lost this series. Fucking, I'm so tired. I've been doing shows all day. Fuck. This hat sucks, Steve. And you know it sucks, Steve. I think that's what you would say.
Yeah.
There's not any part. I feel like this is you like pushing away Kid You. Did Kid You get these? Did you get these?
No, dude.
You're acting too cool for an ice cream helmet. Ice cream.
I literally get an ice cream in the helmet every time I go to Fenway, so that does not line up. Jake, when we went to the game on Friday, what did I get? Ice cream in the fucking helmet.
Yeah, wait, this is more to my point. You've gotten these before. Why are you so anti it just being on a hat?
Because it sucks. That's why.
you never like go into any detail. It's always like, it sucks, dude. Like, well, why does it suck?
It just sucks. It just sucks. Like, there's a lot of things that I like that I wouldn't wear on a fucking hat. Like, I don't know. I like chicken fingers. Would I wear a chicken finger hat?
100% I would wear a chicken finger hat.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
If they had a hat with Ken's honey mustard, I would wear it. I think that.
Yeah, like I like chocolate chip cookies. I had 9 chocolate chip cookies tonight. Would I wear a chocolate chip cookie hat that had a Red Sox logo on it? No, that's stupid.
Well, they don't. This has more purpose than that. It's because it's a helmet with ice cream.
What purpose does it have?
The helmet, Jared. It's the helmet. That's what connects it to the team. That's why it's on a hat, because team stuff is on hats. You wouldn't just have a couple of cookies on a hat. That doesn't connect to a team, Jared.
If I put the Red Sox
see
B
the
on a
cookie hat before I decided if I was in or out on the cookie hat.
Before I come to any conclusions, show me the cookie hat. Yeah, that's
I will.
fair.
I will be receiving mock-ups, and I will make a final jurisdiction on whether or not I like the.
If I know the
cookie
listeners of this program, they will do those mock-ups. Jared.
All right, I got a fresh take for you, Steve.
Oh God, yeah.
Level with me here, because
Cookie
I don't know why I feel this way, but I do. Okay, you ready for this take?
Mm-hmm.
That hat you're wearing,
Oh,
I fucking hate that hat. I hate the hat.
Okay.
I hate it.
All right.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate
Fresh
looking
take.
at it.
yeah, this is a brand new take that you haven't been saying all year.
I hate that hat. I hate when you wear it. I hate looking at it. Okay, that's part 1 of the take. You ready for part 2 of the take?
Waiting for the fresh part. Yep. What do you got?
Okay. So when we saw Grace and Amanda on Friday outside Gate D, they had asked me, did you see that they have it on a t-shirt? And I said, yeah, I would wear that shirt.
What? You'd wear the shirt, but you would. That's an even worse take than the hat take. You would wear the shirt, but not the hat.
No, all right, hear me out. Hear me out. Maybe,
oh my God.
Maybe Coley will understand better because obviously Steve doesn't. I feel all right. I feel like you can wear a t-shirt. You know how like the younger generation, they'll wear a Nirvana t-shirt and they can't name a single song or an album. They don't even know who Kurt Cobain is. Like they'll wear a Nirvana shirt because like it's not a commitment to anything. Like if you're wearing a t-shirt, it's not as strong of a commitment. If you're wearing a hat, like Steve used to wear like the MAGA hat, Like if you're wearing a hat, that like the hat is the endorsement.
Can't wait to rock
right?
it in DC this weekend. I'm gonna be with all my people.
Right? Like the hat is like, bam, like this is who I'm repping. This is who I believe in. This is my thing. But like a shirt is just like, it's so interchangeable. Like I can wear a shirt. Like I was wearing a Barbie shirt the other day on the podcast. The perfect example. I'm wearing a Barbie t-shirt. Do I have Barbies? No. Like, did I ever play with Barbies? No. It's just a shirt. But if I'm wearing a Barbie hat, then it's like, this dude is going hard for the Barbie brand. Like, what's up with that? That's fucked up. So that to me, I think it makes perfect sense. The hat is like, this is what I believe in. This is what I stand by. Like Steve with the MAGA. And like, for me, I don't like a shirt. It's like a temporary tattoo. You put it on, but you can take it off. You know what I'm saying?
Like I just have this on. I mean, I have
you
worn this
have
a
it
lot
on
this
all
year.
the time. You wear it
I wear
every
it more
day.
because you hate it so much, and I still can't believe you hate it to this level. I wouldn't wear it this much.
See, that's the thing. You can't wear a t-shirt like 50 straight days. You can wear a hat 50 straight days. That's a commitment. I'm not committing to a shirt. It's just like, hey, look at my ice cream in a helmet t-shirt. I'm wearing it once. You may not see it again for 75 days. Every time I fucking look at Steve's big head, I gotta look at the ice cream. But I gotta see it every single time. So that's why it's way more of a commitment to have a hat than a t-shirt. I think I just made a perfectly sound argument for what the difference is.
I've heard you say that many a time before.
I'm usually right.
You're right all the time. If
I know.
you didn't make such a thing about this hat, I promise you I would not wear it this much. I promise.
I've never even talked about that hat.
It does go against like how much you do like the hat, though. I don't know that you can.
I love the hat. I love the hat. Trust me. Like I love this hat, but I've bought like 20 cleanup hats, the 47 brand ones, and I would have shuffled more in. But now that this is such a thing, I'm like, all right, I got to own this.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing. I don't think about that.
It's 100% a thing. It would not be this big a thing if you didn't make it this big a thing.
No, I don't even think about that.
Now we're here. I'm on this side. You're on that side.
All right, well, I'm going to buy the t-shirt. I'm going to buy the t-shirt just to prove that I don't have anything against.
So much that you're going to buy the t-shirt. I think that's trash. I think that is trash. Because you have come so aggressively against this brand, the ice cream helmet brand, for you to then wear that on the shirt. We don't want you. We don't want you on this team.
I'm not on the team. It's a dumbass hat.
Yeah, Jared's a Yankee hat. Crazy. Jeter jersey. Give it to me.
This guy. This is 100%. You're joining the team if you wear the shirt. You're on the team.
No. I invented the team. No one eats more ice creams in a helmet than me.
You are the cream team captain. I do fear.
Every time we go to Fenway, you will never catch me not having an ice cream in a helmet. I have it every single time.
It's another layer to this that I can't believe, if I'm being fully honest, because I've seen you have a million of these things, and then you think this is a stupid ass hat.
Hat sucks. It
bad. Doesn't suck. Again, we did a poll. We did a poll. 90% like the hat. All right, 90%. That's a big amount of people
on your Twitter. It's all the fucking.
I think
ice
it was on the
cream
Section
dildo
10 Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the Section 10 Twitter.
No.
Well, I mean, I think the only fair. We're in a democratic society for at least for a few more days. Like, if we should post the shirt and then see how that polls. If that gets above 90.
Then this brand is as strong as ever. I
for sure.
Of all the sides that you've been on, Jared, this is the one that still confuses me the most because
I just explained it perfectly.
You're an ice cream helmet guy, and yet you hate this hat so much.
Explained it. I just
you explained it perfectly in your head. I don't think a lot of people are going to hear that and be like, "Why is he team shirt but not team hat?"
So many people are going to listen to what I said and they're going to be like, you know what? I never thought about it like that. Like they're gonna be like,
people are gonna hear that and be like,
no, they're gonna listen to that and they're gonna be like,
on me, daddy.
I didn't realize it before, but a hat is such a bigger commitment than a t-shirt because you can just wear a
t-shirt. As much of a commitment as you want it to be.
A hat becomes part of your like identity. If you're a hat guy and you've got hats, you're just wearing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You wear different hats like you wear different shirts.
But it's like if I could take my beard off and like put on a silly beard, or a long beard
it.
or like a blonde beard. It's like, that's like hat life. I just have one identity, and it has
I
nothing
hear
to do
you.
with ice
And you're not a
cream.
hat guy. That's a lot of hat opinions for someone that doesn't even wear hats.
Yeah, but like I used to be a hat guy, so like I can speak on it.
You have the credentials from back in the day.
I've been. So here's a crazy bad. You want me to say that I was wrong before? I've been wrong before.
my
I'll tell
God.
you.
All right,
This
we're
is
rolling.
this is a take that I had that was a bad take.
Okay.
When I was a hat guy back in the day, I used to wear a hat every day, nonstop, even if I was inside, even if it was hot out, whatever. I'm sweating through hats. I'm wearing hats to fucking bed. And you know what my grandma used to say? She'd say, "You wear a hat all the time, you're going to start losing your hair." And I said, "All the more reason to wear a hat, Grandma. Ever think about that? Bet you didn't
You
think that one
fuck.
through."
You
And I said,
stupid
Grandma,
idiot.
I'm right. I'm never wrong, you moron.
Right. So now I'm like, I'm so glad I have my hair, because if I had to wear a hat all the fucking time like Steve, that I would look like an idiot like Steve.
I don't look like an idiot. It's a hat that 90%
It's-
of people like.
90% of your audience, and those people
I
are
could have
dumb.
sworn we did this on the Section 10 account. I don't think this was
I'm
on
sure
my...
you would say that to feed into your argument, but it's just not the case, dude. You know?
All right. Well, hey, we'll see. We'll see.
Does Dan like
Curious
the
you would
hat?
make such a claim.
Does Dan
What do you
Peralt
think?
like the hat?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's
big
a
time.
fine hat. It's a fine hat. I just wouldn't wear it myself. That's all.
All right, that's fine, but you don't wear hats. You don't.
Oh no,
No, you would
Coley.
look stupid in that hat. You would look terrible in that.
I
type of
would.
hat.
I could never wear a hat. The only hat that I could pull off now is a backwards New Era. That's it.
You're a beanie boy. That's what
Hmm.
you are.
Yeah, I'm a little beanie boy. I can do a little beanie action. Yeah, a little
Yeah, you're a
puffy
little-
ball.
like
double
barely on your head, mostly pointed backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, still have some hair coming out just so people know that you do have hair, that you're not doing it to like cover anything up.
Yeah. I like a good beanie. I like a good backwards New Era.
Hmm.
But other than that, I mean, I'm just not a hat guy. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm
That
glad we
hat-
landed on that. I feel like that was a productive conversation.
yeah, when's the next time we're going to Fenway so I can buy that fucking T-shirt?
Dodgers. The Dodgers.
Next weekend. No. Next weekend.
Rays.
Yeah.
Razor rocks.
Rays.
Yeah, Rays. Get yourself one of those. I can't believe. See, this is how much kindness I have in my heart, and how much willingness I am to change opinions.
Mhm.
If you get the shirt, even if you don't agree, you're kind of sort of joining the team. And we will
Dream
accept
team.
you on this team, even though we don't really want you because of how negative you've been.
I
about the
don't want
brand.
you either. I don't want to be on the fucking team.
Well, you getting a shirt is kind of joining the helmet ice cream team.
Yeah, the cream team.
Again,
Yeah, you're joining the
I
cream team if you get the shirt.
invented the team.
It doesn't sound
The
like it by
act
how
of
negative you are.
Steve, the act of buying. There's nothing more proactive in the community than buying the actual ice cream in the goddamn helmet.
100%.
And no
I
one.
do that a lot too.
If there was a bar graph to demonstrate ice cream in helmets consumed,
Hmm.
it would be like the fucking North Tower, and you would be a little pile of piss down here.
Nah, I
Like,
would
you're
not
not-
be pissed.
You're
No
not
chance.
on the team.
I've had a lot of these. I've had
You're
a lot
not
of
on the
these.
team.
I
You're
would
not
no,
on the
you're
team.
You're not on the team. You're not on the team.
You're not
You
on
can
the
be on
team.
I'm talking about the merch team, the team that represents this, not the one that eats the ice cream.
Yeah, the Fugazi ice cream team. That's you.
No, this is I like the
Fugazi.
team we got. Like the team we got. We got a good
Yeah,
team over here.
A
If you wanna join,
team
that's
of
fine.
posers. Team
No,
of
if you wanna join,
posers.
that's all good.
Is what
We'll-
I don't
we'll
want to
accept
be on
you.
the team. I don't
Okay.
want to be on the team.
All right, you don't have to be.
I want the what?
You don't have to be on the team.
I don't want to be.
All right, good.
I want to be just the guy that eats the ice cream and has the shirt and has the option to wear something else.
All right, you get that shirt, you're on the team. All right.
I don't want to be on the team. I don't want to be on the team. I do want the shirt though. It's a good shirt.
Yeah, good shirt.
It's also bigger. Like, so it's like the t-shirt is unmistakably the ice cream in the helmet, whereas your hat looks like a little poop bucket.
It does not look like a poop. Poop is not
It
white.
does.
Poop is not white. No,
It does.
you're just
You
gonna
ever
pick
see-
anything that might be
Nah.
negative towards the hat. This is not a poop. It's an ice
nah.
cream. Come
Nah,
on.
you ever see what's
Nope.
that? What's
I'm gonna
that
say
called?
no to whatever this is.
You ever
Nope.
see albino poop? That's what it looks
No,
like.
definitely no. No, I've not seen
Yep.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, anyone that sees this and doesn't know what it is a moron. So
Oh, look, nice albino poopy hat, Steve. That's what people are gonna
Nope,
say.
nope.
Because they're not gonna know. They're not gonna know.
We really don't
Yeah.
want you on this team.
Yeah, I'm not on the team.
Poopy hat.
Yeah.
That's what they're all
Yeah.
chanting.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, good. Glad we landed on that.
All right. Whose final thought is it now? Steve's?
That was it. Yeah, that was it.
No, I thought this was all along. This was Coley's.
Steve announced that this was going to be his final thought as well.
Yeah. I mean, I had
this
one
is-
more to add in, but it doesn't really matter. It's more just fourth
Add
year
it
in a
in.
row the Red Sox don't have any all-star starters. And the fact that when they announce them, it's not even a thought that you would see a Red Sox logo next to a starter in the all-star game. And that's a ton of fun. I think that's really where we want to be as a fan base, not
Yeah.
expecting good things. And that's been very consistent the last
I love it.
4 years.
I think Ryan O'Hearn accepting that spot is one of the more cowardly things I've seen in professional sports.
Yeah.
He was asked about it like the next day, too. And he was like, yeah, this is kind of cheap, but I'm totally down.
He was pumped.
Sure, like I respect that, but he I don't know. They should. It's clearly Devers, and even
Yeah.
Jose Ramirez like wasn't going to start.
Well, I think Ryan O'Hearn is like, I am more than happy to be able to take this into arbitration or whatever the fuck else. he's
Sure,
doing.
yeah, and I'm happy for him
He'll take
there.
advantage of it big time.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's fun.
Sucks.
Anything else?
No.
No, that's it. Jake, you got a take? Jake said if one more ice cream hat drops, he's hanging up the cleats. So I'm just glad I have Jake's support. Obviously, Steve doesn't see it my way, and that's fine.
Yep.
Fine. Yeah, it's okay to disagree.
Mhm.
It's okay to disagree. You know, it is what it is, as they say.
Mhm.
But all right. We'll be back on Sunday night, Monday morning for the folks at home. You want to see something gross? I just peeled the skin off my
Ugh.
ankle.
you fucking snake, dude. What's going on?
Yeah, I burned myself at the beach.
Peeled it
yeah.
off.
Yeah, fuck yeah, take it off. All right. We'll be back. Let's go, Sox. Let's get swept this weekend, huh? For America. For America, buddy. Ba-doot, doot, doot.
Buenas noches, amigos.